Hello, and welcome to episode 9 of the Anime Symposium. I'm your host, Andrew. And with me, I have Dawson.
What's up, guys?
And Connor.
As always, we are all here. How's it going, everyone?
Yeah, so we were off break last week because, well, we weren't taking a break, but
You guys had a bunch of work to do.
And we just never got around to recording.
So this was postponed.
This is postponed.
It was quite terrible.
I will link it in the description, but I made my own personal video to cover for last week, but unfortunately I got copyright striked, so it didn't end up on YouTube. So
post a link.
It's on Dailymotion, the fourth best alternative.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought about it. I was like, do I put it on Vimeo? Do I put it on like somewhere else?
Yeah.
And then I just ended up on Dailymotion because I was like,
Pornhub. I mean, that has a pretty good player.
well, RedTube too.
Player works.
I mean, you've seen those things, right? People like post their like gaming videos on Pornhub.
That's the best.
Because I just like, it's like I guess they fucked the guy so hard in the game or something like that, or it's like their play was so good it's like porn or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, it's
man,
great.
is that just a subgenre now?
No, but people post on Pornhub that just that stuff.
That should be a subgenre.
It's not actually porn, you know. It's just like a joke.
But like,
they have a small section of Pornhub just for this sweet 360 no scope. Oh baby, a triple kills.
Oh, I've seen some very insensitive
That'd
stuff.
be a hilarious parody.
That would be
360 no scope.
Oh, I'm so glad we don't have visuals on this one.
Oh, they know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We can pretend that they don't.
Yeah, start this one up talking about porn. Everybody loves porn.
I know. I saw it on Dailymotion. Yeah, the alternatives would have been YouTube, Vimeo, Pornhub, and then Dailymotion, and then RedTube.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
Please no.
A few things before that. Put it up on LimeWire before that. Jesus.
God, Lime.
I'll torrent it out.
Hey guys, please torrent my video. I'll love you forever. Please.
Please.
Send them out as zip files. All right.
I know. Zip files. Oh.
.exe.
As it's an actual virus that plays the video as it destroys your computer. You took out your battery?
No. It doesn't destroy your computer. It just subscribes to us.
Yeah, that's
and
all
then,
it does.
Yeah, it subscribes and upvotes every video that we make. And if you try to unsubscribe, it resubscribes and deletes one of your files.
Just don't fight it.
Holy shit, we should actually make that.
No, just don't fight
That's
it.
so illegal.
And your point.
But anyway, so continuing from last podcast, we're going to be picking up the scraps of where we left off, and we're going to be continuing our discussion and suggestions of Nagi-Asu now that we've watched the complete picture. And I actually, Overall, that's the word I'm looking for.
Those are pretty close words.
Overall, I really liked how we did this because A, it was a 26, so I was able to split it up into 2 weeks when I was busy. And also, I liked how our discussion went from last week to 2 weeks ago.
Wait, don't we have to do the discussion before we figure out whether this is a good idea or not?
I don't care. I already know for a fact. Because the thing is, I like seeing...
Andrew's the king of pre-orders. Just
No, but the thing is, I'm looking at this and I go... I liked what I saw. I had an opinion the first 13. And then my opinion changed the second 13.
Just building up the hype. Right.
And so I think that Connor, your opinion didn't change. And then Dawson, your opinion didn't change. But at least for me.
Your opinion changed.
But my opinion wasn't as negative as yours to start with.
No, but you're the one who blew out the mic last time.
Yeah.
I was very
on a
civil.
Single nitpick. Yours was like, I don't recommend this show. Don't watch. No.
Okay, anyway, starting part 1.
Yeah.
I'd still say I don't recommend it. I'm kidding. So suggestions-wise, Nagi-Asu, we don't have to summarize it because we already summarized it last week.
Yeah.
The second half continues off technically after a time skip of.
If you're watching this and you have watching or listening to this and you haven't watched / listen to the first half,
just listen
you
to
should
the
probably
first
go do that.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
It turns to hell after that.
No. He's meaning the first podcast.
Of what?
The part
Our
one.
first podcast.
Yeah, go listen to that podcast.
The
and
first
then
part
come
of
here.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you only
Oh,
need
you're
to
still
listen to the first 5
suggesting
minutes.
just what.
Oh, okay. I thought you
Listen
meant
to
the
the
first
first
Are you
5
seriously going to listen to the whole podcast? No one in their right mind would do that.
Nobody. There's.
It's-
No one has, and no one will.
We still get views on them.
Eventually, people will, like, there'll be so many people watching scraps of our videos, perhaps, that we may, like, be even with how many hours recorded and how many hours are watched.
Somehow.
But that's, like, all we can really dream of.
All we can hope.
Hey,
for.
I'm still having fun with this. So.
Anyways.
Okay, and we wish.
Okay, moving on to an actual short review of, like, the second half and as a whole, how they kind of go together.
So now Dawson can't yell at me for saying my
Okay.
suggestions and recommendations.
Okay,
Yes.
Andrew, would you like to start? Kind of start from, say it as a whole. Like, what do you think as a whole this
I'd
is?
say this, as a whole, I can recommend this now, but for specific people and not everybody. Because for me, my enjoyment of this show, I described this to you earlier, was like an M. Where I didn't like it at first, I started to like it, then I stopped liking it, then I started liking it, and then it ended, and I didn't like it as much. So, that for me saying that, I'd still say there's a lot of good points to this show. There's a lot of good moments, and the moment-to-moment things that are going on is fantastic. But overall, I can't like it as much. But I'd still say, yeah, go out and watch it. It's worth a watch if you're into this sort of thing.
That, I would definitely agree that if you're into this sort of thing is a huge factor. Because I'm not into this sort of thing.
Dude,
But it looked pretty, right? It was enjoyable
it's
to
okay,
watch.
it has pretty animation.
It has
the music,
some good characters.
The music's awesome.
Music, 9 out of 10. Visuals, 10 out of 10.
I'd say music.
Gravity. I
negative.
thought of a good. I can't think of a good joke out of 10. It was gravity. Tears are both bubbles, and
No.
water drops that fall to
No,
the
no,
bottom,
dude.
fall to the ground while you're underwater. Out of 10.
No, dude, Connor, it's negative 9.34. What's the coefficient of gravity? 9.1.
9.8.
Or 9.8?
Yeah.
Oh man, negative 9.8 out of 10.
No, but like, did
Okay.
you guys seriously like see that point? Oh, I'll talk
Okay,
about
we'll
that
talk
later.
about that later. But I think the music for me, because that's the type of music I like.
Yeah.
So I would say the music's like 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then the visuals would be like 9 out of 10 because there are specific points. I was like, that's a weird, spotty visual moment. But overall,
Personally, I didn't like how the romances went.
Why are you
all.
bringing this up now, Connor?
What?
no, we'll
It's
get to
it's
it.
an overall review.
Yeah, okay, overall.
Okay.
Some
Yeah,
people
overall.
go in for the romance. That's why they want to watch it. But I didn't like how they went.
I think I started to like it towards the end, and then I totally gave up at the ending.
Didn't like the ending.
So hey, this
It was
anime,
such a
I will
fast
say that
change.
is, from my opinion, it's slow start, good middle, and then the ending last 5 minutes dropped off for me.
I super disagree with the last 5 minutes thing. I'll talk about that later.
Dawson, you go now.
Me?
Since now you
Okay.
can totally talk about it.
I really like this show. I think visuals are 10 out of 10, music 8 out of 10. I'm not going to break the rest down. But I think it has... But regardless of whether you like the characters or not, I think all of them are at least interesting and good, minus 1 or 2 characters. I think the second half, as a whole, has considerably better
I have
character
stuff to
changes.
I have to talk to you something about that second half later on.
Yeah.
Because stuff that you and the other Connor that we know
But
were
agree or
saying.
disagree with the comment.
You were saying. But I do say that second half is a lot better.
Yeah.
Again, I'll repeat what I said with the M.
Yeah.
The way my enjoyment went of this is, I'd say it's a reverse Samurai Flamenco for you guys. Where you guys kind of like the first opening of Samurai Flamenco, then kind of dropped off in the middle part, and then really enjoyed it at the end with the ending.
Yeah.
For me, it was, didn't like
That's
the
more
beginning.
of an N.
Yeah.
Didn't like the beginning. Then the middle part, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of digging this, and then it dropped off at the end.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Also, what was I gonna say? Talked about visuals, talked about sound,
Characters,
talked about
plot.
the fact that I like the characters. Plot-wise, a pretty decent plot.
So can you
I
suggest
thought the
this?
world was interesting. Hell
Oh.
yeah, I can suggest this. Not to everyone.
Yeah, never.
I
got
would
that.
never have suggested this to Connor unless I thought it would make a interesting discussion, which I both thought it would, and it has.
And
why didn't you just make me watch the instrument one?
Hibiki?
Which one? Hibiki or
The one-
July and April?
The one Demo really likes. The
Hibiki.
No, Demo really likes
Symposium.
July and April. Oh, Demo really liked Hibiki?
Yeah, that was his like one of the season.
Yeah, that was his top
Oh.
of the season. Yeah.
Well, good job, Demo. I agree. Do I agree? Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree.
It was that or Death Parade.
Hibiki
And
was
he
great.
goes, "What are you retarded on Death Parade?"
You sure that
No,
was
you're
Hibiki?
wrong. You're wrong.
No, that was July and
Symposium.
April.
Yeah, July and April.
That was
Was it?
July and April.
Yeah.
It had some weird ass info.
No, because that was part of the video. That was part
Yeah,
of the video.
the song says...
Yeah. Hey,
Hibiki Idol Symphony. I'm not gonna sing anymore.
I'd prefer Hibiki over.
I don't know what the fuck any of these
Over
roller
your
block
line
shits
April at
are.
this
No, I'm
point.
just
Because
kidding.
none of these are going up. Let me
I
just
know,
put
I'm
that
being
out
an
there.
asshole. That's what I'm doing.
Again, I'd rather prefer Hibiki over Your Lie in April at this point because I at least know the ending
I'm
of Your
just
Lie
gonna
in
watch
April.
Whiplash.
Yeah, your line April.
That's
knowing
the problem
ending.
where, like, I didn't want to know the ending of Your Lie in April, but everyone just kept saying the ending and then spoilers, and I just assumed, and then one day I accidentally scrolled over a spoiler, and my eyes just read it, and I went, oh, that's exactly what I thought it would be.
No,
Yeah.
it's just literally.
I kind of figured out the ending.
No, the one I'm thinking of
At
is
the
like the one
beginning.
that just got those crazy high reviews, and like everyone's comparing it to Whiplash and shit.
Your
that's
line
Hibiki.
April.
That's Hibiki. Whiplash? That's Hibiki.
Demo never talked about
I know, but
Hibiki.
yeah, he did. In that video, he also
Okay,
talked about
can we
Hibiki.
stop referencing other people?
Yes.
Let's not do that. I don't care. Like,
Okay, well,
I don't
this is-
care who did it.
No.
I don't care who did it. That's just the one I wanted. I would rather watch than this.
So he wants to watch Hibiki. That's. I'm just saying, Dawson.
Do you want to watch the one about
No,
high school
Dawson,
kids
Dawson. He
and a
wants to
girl
watch
who
Hibiki.
plays the euphonium,
No,
or
way that
about
he just,
the one
okay,
about the dude
the
who
way
plays
he just-
piano and they're in middle school?
The way he described it.
Whichever
It's
one's
Hibiki.
more about the actual music.
They both are. They
Mm.
both have extreme amounts of music in them.
Okay.
I was okay.
Okay, Dawson.
Fine. I guess I'm
No.
thinking of whatever that
Okay,
shit Andrew
Dawson.
watches is your stupid book thing. What's it called? White Album.
White
because-
Album too.
Because every time it's something about musical instruments, it's always
Okay.
Oh look, everyone in the band loves each other and
Okay,
there's
if you're
love
talking
triangles
about
and shit.
Whiplash, it's Hibiki.
Okay.
So Dawson, just stop this argument now. I can guarantee you, it's Hibiki.
No, but I mean,
Oh, this tangent. Okay, stop. We get it. It's cool.
Dustin,
there's
do you
no,
want me
no,
to
there
prove-
isn't anything to argue about. Just stop.
You want me
No,
to prove
this
this?
doesn't stop.
okay.
Please.
I
You're
have
tearing this review apart.
We should just cut this out.
No, keep this. I want the drama.
I will decide in
God.
post.
Decide. Okay.
Because Andrew makes the best decisions in post.
Obviously.
Dude, I cut out so much of his
Whisper,
stuff.
whisper.
Dude, I cut out so much of his stuff. No, I'm kidding. Dude, don't you know, like, all of our podcasts, since you guys don't listen to it, it's actually just me and you having a conversation.
He cuts out all
Everything
of
I
that.
say is censored. Okay.
Anyway, they don't even know we have a third member of
They just, yeah, they probably think I'm like an imaginary friend or something.
Okay, anyway. So, continuing from that.
Holy shit, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, guys.
Where did we leave off?
Let's just give it our ratings because we've already ruined this part.
Okay. 9 out of 10.
10 out of 10, 100 out of 10. I give it personal enjoyment. It was around a 6, but I mean, for what it was, I'd give it like it would probably be an 8 for other people, just from what I actually saw.
I know, but your personal rating.
Like a 6.
Okay. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I actually gave it a 9 out of 10, except for that last 5 minutes.
Okay. Spoiler. Can we just start the spoilers
Let's
now?
start the
I have
spoilers.
something I really need
Okay,
to
wait.
say.
Go for
I'm
it.
going to cite the spoilers, and I'm going to start it right now here.
Wait.
We're going to start with the ending.
Okay, what the fuck are you talking about? Nothing happens the last 5 minutes.
Okay,
He doesn't like the fact that they get together. Well, get together, quote unquote.
Okay, here's the thing.
Explain.
I was reading up so much afterwards, and it just made me more and more furious. Because when I watched it, I was like, okay, like, that was an ending. It's very kind of open-ended with Hikaru's story, in a way.
Yeah.
In a way, I said, okay, that's kind of open-ended. And then I started reading up, and everyone's like, okay, so basically Muna just goes like, okay, I'm over, like, I guess I have to get over him, and then just decides to get over him. And
Oh, that girl? Okay.
and then I immediately went,
Wait, over Hikari?
yeah,
Yeah.
she basically goes,
Yeah.
And then that's when I got really mad. And
But they hinted at that earlier.
Here's the thing about that. And here's the reason why it kind of ruined it for me. Yes, part of it ruined it with me that, like, Monica technically won in the end, because that infuriated me. He
really hates Monica, I guess.
Because
that seems like a personal thing, though.
No, here's the thing. That's what I knew you guys would say. Like, from a personal standpoint, yes, it is a personal thing that I'm pissed that Monica technically won in the end. But in my opinion, Muna is A, the better written character, B, like, so much better.
Andrew,
C deserves so much more.
When do best girls win?
No, but
does the best girl win?
Here's the thing.
Never.
Okay, here's the thing.
That is...
Now getting over that issue that she didn't win, I said, okay, I can't be mad about that she didn't win. And then what I got mad about is how they shoehorned her aside at the end. And, like,
What do you mean?
Because the thing is, what I would have wanted was, like, at least a confrontation or at least a conversation about it.
There was a confrontation.
No, afterwards.
After the last scene with Monica and Hikari?
No.
You wanted one with Muna?
What I wanted was before the ending part, before that whole epilogue bit, and after everything happened, I would have wanted at least an acknowledgement and then a conversation about it where then it makes sense where she goes, okay, like, move on. Because the thing is, Hikari does find out about it, yes. But then he does nothing about it. And from all the rest of the thing where I actually liked his character, I liked the bits where he actually, like, when,
I love how we alienated all our cautious viewers who haven't seen, like, the thing, but they're like, spoilers, by going straight to the ending.
Chisaki, when, like, he goes back and has a conversation with her and actually talks to her about it. I wanted that at least with Muna, where at least if we were going to have it where he ends up with Monica in the end, I would have preferred if they did a little thing with Muna, because she's so much of a better written character. She's the best written character in this entire show.
I completely agree with you on that point.
That was a terrible way to start this episode, but okay.
No, because
anyways.
because that's the thing. I've been holding that in for so long.
Yeah, but there's so many people listening there. It's just like, oh, I wonder if I should watch this show. Oh, I'll keep watching. This might be entertaining. Oh, never mind. They're spoiling the ending right now.
I already said, I'm going to start at the ending.
No, we told them to watch the first one.
And the thing is,
if you watch the first video.
Okay, whatever, fine.
But I'm starting there because literally, like, that's the place where we have to start.
Are we working backwards then?
Yeah, we're gonna work
backwards.
Because I have issues before that.
Because the thing is,
she is a side character.
She's a side character.
Why was she such a why was she such a whole god thing at the end? Like, she's the new sacrifice now. She's super important.
She's a side character that turned into a main character.
And then they don't give her any attention at the end.
And that's what pissed me off. I was so mad about that because you do all this stuff with her character. Excellent stuff with her character, and then you don't end it. It's like...
Okay, Miuna's great. She's my favorite character. I love her. I love everything they did with her. But the show needs to start the same way that the show ended. The show starts with Hikari and Monica. The show ends with Hikari and Monica. And that's the way it's going to be, and that's the way it needs to be. I don't care about
status quo. Amen. Praise the Lord.
Yeah. The thing is, I read on the ending where everyone's like, oh, wow, that was a perfect ending. Everything ended up happy. I'm like, no, it didn't.
I don't.
For me.
No, everything, honestly,
no,
the ending didn't mean anything to me.
I thought I'm not too happy.
I'm not a big person. I would have liked it if it was actually a little bit sadder. I agree with you there.
Because the thing is, everyone was like, oh man, this show is such a breath of fresh air because it ended happy. And I was so mad because I was like, no. Because of that, I immediately just, it dropped so many points down my list where I was literally bawling my eyes out on those first, like, up until, literally, I was bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
And then the minute Monica comes back onto screen, tears just stop, and I immediately just go, wow. You just dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Like, you had... Like, I prefer it if they ended it ended it after the whole Ofuneki, all that whole deal. They're all reunioning on the iceberg, and then just end it there.
See, you just really didn't want Monica to win.
Well,
that's what I'm getting from this.
My favorite section of this entire show
was
episode 14 to when Monica wakes up.
It's such a better story right there. And then that's second point. Where remember how I said it's an M?
Yeah.
It starts off. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Then you get to 13, and then it starts getting, okay, this is getting something. Do the time skip immediately. You guys saw my messages.
Yeah.
The minute that opening played, I said,
I love that
oh
opening,
my
by
God.
the way.
Like,
I really like that
I wish you
opening.
guys were there, where I was like, oh man, oh yeah,
Yeah.
do this. And then it was doing it, and then I was enjoying it so much. And then, like...
Is this why you said the second half gets better just because they introduce 2 new characters that are, like, way better? The 2 girls, like, they grow up.
Well, my
and...
2 favorite characters are... Miuna's my favorite, because she's great. But I really like grown-up Chisagi. The first time...
She gets
she-
really whiny.
First time I watched it through, I didn't like her that much. But for some
I
reason,
can see
the
it.
second time when I rewatched... In the first half, I had more of an appreciation for her, and in the second half, I definitely had.
Okay,
she,
wait,
like,
wait.
Here's
way
the
jumped
thing.
up on my
Here's the thing. I didn't mind her. She was okay. But
Yeah.
if she jumped in the water and tried to be a sacrifice, I was going to, like, cheer for her death.
Yeah.
Is all I can say. Because that would be the most retarded move, like, in
For her
existence.
to.
Okay,
It is selfish and it is stupid for her to do something like that.
Yeah.
And she knows someone would try to save her if that happened.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
But basically, here's the thing. I think what she wanted was to, like, go down there and hibernate for 5 years so she would be
Yeah.
the same age as everyone again.
At what point in time is this?
It's when
It's,
Sumugu's
like, last
going, yo,
episode.
or Sumugu and the blonde dude, I forgot his name, were like, Kaname, were like, don't jump in there.
Yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah.
I know you want to.
I'm
But
really
don't
glad she
do it.
didn't.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm also glad she didn't, but I think
so...
she is. One of the reasons I really like her is I feel like she finally got past the point
Where she wasn't...
feels like she needs to rejoin her group.
No, yeah, and that's where I started to appreciate her character more.
Yeah.
Where I didn't like her character at first, and then when I got to the end, that's when I started appreciating it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, again, let me finish off my thought earlier, where it was the M, where that 14 through, I looked at it when Connor got to it was around 19.
Yeah.
14 through 19, where Monica actually wakes up. 14 through 19, I was having a hell of an enjoyment with the show,
Yeah.
and I was really liking where it was going. I was sitting with, like, my family was watching a movie,
Yeah.
and then I was like, I need to watch this sometime. So I turned it on and started watching it, and after 2 episodes, I had to shut it off, because I was tearing up, and I was like, I can't be tearing up in front of my family, so I
Yeah.
just turned on, like, something else. And I was really, really having a lot of
Yeah.
enjoyment with it. And then, minute Monica comes back onto the screen, like, all my interest just drops.
So
Yeah.
then from the end to the beginning, and now we're in the middle.
And then we continue, and then it gets to those last couple episodes where things are starting to resolve itself,
Yeah.
and I started enjoying it, because, again, tears in my eyes. I was like, man, they're doing, like, moment to moment, it was doing a really good job with it, with the
Yeah.
emotions and the feelings.
Mhm.
And then just at the end where they just drop it off, I was like, man, I thought of a better ending that involved Monica, like sacrificing
Yeah.
herself in the end, and I was like, I'd rather
And then
have
Best
that.
Girl winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, to be
No, the
honest
thing
though,
is-
she
I'm
never
tired of-
had a chance from the beginning.
No.
Miuna, she never
No,
had a
but here's the
chance right
thing.
from the start.
Here's the thing the thing is, where Hikari is saving Muna, he comes to a realization of her feelings,
Yeah.
and comes to the appreciation of it. And when I got to that, I thought, okay, maybe he's starting to
That
turn a
doesn't
little
mean
here.
he sees her as a woman and wants to bang her.
But here's the thing, I literally sat there and I was like, I felt like he actually, like, that's the thing where I was like, I felt like he kind of was turning there. And then they kind of just dropped off that point where I was like, if they had a conversation about it, if they had a talk about it, like, in between those 2
Yeah.
moments, and wrap up her story without her shoehorned ending,
Yeah.
I'd been a lot appreciating. Because I agree with some of those people. What?
Sorry.
No.
That was just a...
But the thing is, I agree with a lot of people on the Reddit where they're like, wow, didn't you just get the shaft right there?
Stop, Dawson. That's
What?
mean.
But
You said I'd be a lot appreciating.
you know my grandma.
I know.
It was kind of funny. But I'm just laughing because Dawson's laughing in all honesty.
Sorry, I can't.
No, it's fine.
This is the first time I've seen him break like this.
I just wasn't expecting it. And it stood out to me personally so much. It was like it was calling out to me.
But
Continue.
I would have been more appreciative of the ending. if they just, like, I would have liked the whole ending bit if they just added that bit in.
Yeah.
Because I agree with some of the people where she totally got the shaft at the end. Where, like,
Yeah.
they built up all this stuff, and then they
You mean she didn't get the shaft at the end?
No,
Yeah.
I even said that. I wouldn't have mind him ending with Monica if at least they had more of a closure with her story. Because her story...
Here's the thing.
Her story is the main part of the second
have-
half.
2 tangents I can go off of this.
Okay?
Flip a coin, heads or tails, just say one.
State them both, I'll pick.
Okay, one case. Oh, I forgot the second one. I'll just go with this one.
Okay. Let's roll with it.
Okay. There was closure for her. Possibly. Do you remember how I said at the beginning all the characters come in this perfect little conga line of no one loving each other back?
Yeah.
And then within an episode, it
They
goes straight from that to literally
Everything is
everyone
wrong.
turns around and now you have matching pairs and it's perfect.
Yeah.
Everyone has their lover. We're good. Cut and dry. Guess who she has? That stupid boy who's been crushing on her from the beginning.
No, she doesn't!
She totally does. She, like, the other girl even says, oh, you're going to reevaluate your feelings towards him now and shit like that. Oh, I just thought of the other tangent, but I'll think about that later. But literally, it just...
No, again.
It goes from,
Again.
no one likes each other. 10 minutes later, everyone likes each other back.
Again, like I said, I don't mind that ending. The only issue I have is I wish there was a little bit more, like, give it like a minute to 2 minutes to even, like, just a conversation.
But they didn't build up anything else, so there wouldn't be any closure to that stuff.
No, they built it up during that whole last moment where he finds out, and then I was like, I want you to just...
Say what? What would they say to each other?
I don't know, but say something. And if they did, I would have been more appreciative. Because that's what I thought it was building up to. Him realizing that, and then him going, okay, I need to do what I did with, like, Chisaki. Like, I don't even remember her name. I'm just going to say Chisaki.
Is it Chisaki? I'm pretty sure it's Chisaki.
I only know it's Chi something. But basically, I'm going to do it and have a conversation with her. Like, because that's what he did 12 episodes ago. He sat down and had a conversation with it. And I'd rather, I'd want him to just have that conversation.
By
For
the
them
way,
to come to terms to
how awkward do you think it would be if it's just when, like, it's those two living at home from now on, like, together?
Oh, Miyuna and
Yeah.
Hickory? No, the sea people woke up, right?
Yeah. Wait,
So
he's not
he's
staying
go-
at his sister's house anymore?
No,
He's going back to the sea.
Damn.
No, that's what happens at the end. He's living with his dad again in the sea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
They didn't really say that, but I'm sure that's
it
implied.
was implied. He always goes back to the sea.
Mhm.
That's where his heart is.
Okay. Quick thing. Speaking of a character getting thrown aside, what the fuck happened to Sumugu and her?
Oh,
Literally, it just turns into, I never liked
No,
him the whole
okay,
time.
no. No, the way that they state that, I actually, when you said that, I decided to save it till now.
Okay.
Is that if you see the way the conversation goes, is that when she first met Sumugu, it's her whole entire thing about land
this
and
is
sea.
Monica, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
yeah.
her whole entire metaphor about land and sea, where Sumugu is the land and Hikari is the sea.
Okay.
Where when she came onto land, it's this bright new world and this whole new thing. And Sumugu is the representation of land. And her feelings towards Sumugu was this whole appreciation of the whole land scenario.
Okay.
But then, as she said it, her heart belongs to the sea. Where her home is always at the sea with Hikari.
What does that literally mean, though?
Literally, she had it. She's
She-
always since a long time ago.
She always
She's
had
had really close feelings with Hickory.
Mhm.
But
But
she...
as she moves on to the land, she meets Sumugu, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm crushing so hard on him right now." But that's all it is. She's crushing on him really hard, and he's new and he's exciting. But
He's not old person back there.
yeah, she's so much more comfortable with Hickory, and she actually likes
Hickory's that
Hickory.
great guy who will listen to all your stories about that last asshole that broke your heart.
Exactly.
Before moving on to another asshole and then coming back to Hickory and telling him how the last asshole broke her heart.
Exactly. Except she
Hickory
doesn't go
is
all
the
the
friend
way.
zone's dream. Is
Exactly.
got
Which is
it.
why I got
Basically.
so mad at the ending, because I literally was like, Yuna is such a bad character. She
But they
deserves
don't-
so much
it-
more.
I feel like that they kind of rush too. They just go, "Oh yeah, I love that old reliable sea." You know.
I just thought that ending was rushed.
and they didn't even like. She doesn't. There's no point where they actually show her losing her feelings for Sumugu. She just has them, and then she doesn't.
Well, she just comes to the realization that it was never anything extremely strong. Like, I don't think they were ever really strong feelings. It was just her meeting this new guy, and he was exciting, and she was excited about him.
Mm-hmm.
And it never went beyond that, whereas her feelings for Hikari have, for a long time, been beyond that.
Either I don't understand
think it
love,
was-
or the writer doesn't.
I just don't.
People don't
okay.
just 180
Okay,
on that stuff
what I
without
totally
like a
disliked was when I
development
went
happening.
onto the Reddit and everyone was like, "Yay, best girl won," and I'm like, "No!" I was like,
Did
like,
they? I feel like I read the post from that
There was a
last
bunch of
subreddit,
people-
and I saw a lot of people who were like, God damn it.
There was a lot of people who were happy that like Monica.
My
like,
favorite part was that like episode 16 or like an episode after Monica comes back. They go, Monica got annoying, and I'm like, really? She just got annoying? She just started being annoying
It
now.
happened Yeah. I always found her annoying.
I just
but
didn't like Monica. Like, her
Oh, and she's
character-
still
honestly,
perfect.
I mean,
She's the
Monica's the
weakest-
reason
she's
this
the-
show isn't a 10 out of 10 for me.
she's
So
such
you
a weak
guys know.
character. She's such a weak character.
So the physics
Okay, we
aren't-
should talk about something interesting besides just bashing on Monica constantly.
She's such
There's a
a
lot
weak
more to
character.
I'm
talk
trying. I am
There's a
trying.
lot more to talk about here. There's the other girl, blonde-haired girl, who
Oh, she's
despite
fine. She's
seeming
fine.
bitchy is actually really cool.
She's fine.
Like, I like her. I don't like her relationship.
With
I like
the
the
dude,
relationship.
It was nothing. When the first time they met, I go, did these people know each other from before? Because they're not acting like they just met each other. Right? I feel like they keep skipping steps with those two.
Wait, but they did meet each other before.
They did? They knew each other?
Connor.
No,
Wait.
no. He's talking about in the first 13.
In the first 13?
Yeah, when they first met.
Oh.
I was like, wait, do these people know each other? Because the
No.
way they treated each other, he goes, I saw you betraying my friend. Shouldn't she have gone, who the fuck are you? Like, I never met you before. And then he pats her on the head. It's like, did they meet? Was there a conversation between these two?
No.
It
It's
just
just the
felt,
type of...
everything between them just feels awkward to me and like
Oh,
not.
I thought that
actually-
was fine. Like,
Yeah.
the thing about this
I
is the
didn't
only
have-
reason
that might
why
be
I
a
keep
personal
focusing
thing.
on this whole thing is that was my only real complaint that totally knocked it down 2 points. Like, I thought everything else was fine. Like, that whole relationship was fine. Like, I
Yeah.
wanted that to happen. Like, I was
I
like,
felt
okay.
like it was
That was the
a very quick resolution, but I felt like I would have been mad if they spent any more time on
Yeah,
it.
because I like the whole thing where, like, I like that whole thing where it was like, I'm so focused on this that I didn't know girl behind me. Like, I like that whole thing. And I wish that was the whole thing that I went with Hikari, where it was like, oh, I've been so focused on this, I didn't know this person behind me.
Hmm.
Which he started to get towards the end, and then, never
Yeah.
closed that off. But
Uh,
anyway, see, the thing is, if they had a similar, that's the thought.
See.
That's the thought that I was trying to think. Where like, I wished Hikari's story was similar to Kaname's because I thought that's where it was headed for.
I would have been mad if they did that, though, because then they would have done the same thing twice, and that's just bad writing.
Yeah, this show would never do that.
He was getting really mad about the twiceness. See, the thing is,
There was
What?
a point where I was just saying, there's more like conflicts you can do with a relationship than unrequited love. Like, Jesus Christ, how many times are they going to do unrequited love?
I mean, it's like what this show was from the...
I know. And then they added more.
Yeah. This show was, we have a huge knot of people, and they all have feelings going in strange directions here.
Strange.
And we're going to
directions.
and the first half is just solidifying this knot, and then we're going to throw it on ice.
It's not a knot, it's a line. It is a conga line.
I think it's more of a knot.
I think it's more of a knot.
Where was the complications when we started?
Well, because the thing is, what's her face? Monica always had feelings for Hikari.
Yeah. She did from the beginning.
It didn't seem like that. That we didn't have that information at the beginning.
Yeah.
They
You
added
don't.
that. They kind of added that later.
Okay.
That
Whoa,
was
whoa, whoa,
not
whoa.
Retcon. Monica herself didn't
Okay,
even know.
I need to ask this of you.
Then it didn't exist then.
That was the
No.
thing. That was the thing that now that you remind me of. Okay, when I was in the car with you and Connor, other Connor, not the one here, you guys are like, "Oh, that twist at the end, like in the second half, so good." And I went, "Okay," and then I sat through that second half. I was like, "Where's the twist?"
Oh, the twist was people waking up at different times, I think. I don't know. I don't remember.
I thought the twist was at the half. I thought that's what the actual twist was.
No, you guys already knew about the twist. We just forgot that you knew about the twist and was scared of spoiling things.
Okay.
So the twist is that they had to go to sleep.
So the whole entire time I was sitting
Got
there
it.
going like, okay,
What's
okay,
the
where's the twist?
The
Where's
second half
twist?
is the twist.
Sorry about that. The second half itself is entirely the
And
twist.
then I was like, oh wait, so he ends up with Monica. Okay, that's a twist.
I have a feeling Me's just gonna be bringing up points, and then you guys going, nah.
Well,
I mean, okay, what was the point you just brought up?
And then the other thing that I have to say,
Okay.
I'm so mad, Dawson, because when Connor got to the point where it reveals that Monica actually had feelings for Hickory the whole time, like Connor was like, "Holy shit, really?" And like he didn't realize it.
Are they really gonna do that? Is
And
what I
then
was thinking.
for me, you guys said that, like you told me that while we were in the car, and then I immediately, when I went through the rest of that whole second half, I was like, oh, okay.
This makes sense.
This makes sense, but then I was like, I'd rather have that, oh my god.
That moment of like, oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god, you're dropping the ball so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I feel to do that twist, they like sacrificed ever building up to that twist at all.
Yeah. So again, I'm saddened by that car ride I had with you and Connor.
Because it ruined a few things.
It kind of ruined
sorry.
what it could have been better. I wouldn't have been expecting like a huge twist.
Yeah. I just got really excited with that time skip because it's my favorite time skip because I think it
there's
made
a
things
lot better time skips.
It states some.
The
Future
Yuki
Berserk
Hoarder.
time skip.
Future Berserk.
We'll get to
It's not
that.
a time skip.
We'll get to that.
It's gonna be.
It's a world skip.
We'll
You're talking about
We'll get
Future
to
Berserk.
No, stop.
We'll
stop.
talk about
we
that.
keep doing
It
actual
can't
Berserk
be a time skip
spoilers.
if it hasn't happened.
Okay. Now talking about the Yuki Holder time skip's amazing.
UQ holder time
The
skip?
Negima to Yuki Holder time skip.
That's not a time skip.
That's a
That's a
time
new manga.
Okay. The 20th Century Boys time skip's amazing.
Spoilers.
But that's like 6 time skips. Because they handle
Spoilers.
time skips better than any other thing I've ever seen.
Same
Haven't read it,
JoJo.
so I can't talk about it.
JoJo is a good time skip. Oh yeah, I gotta
It's
ask you
different
about that when we
series
get to that.
Do those even count? Are you talking about between parts?
Yeah.
That doesn't count
I
as
know.
a time skip.
Part 1 and 2 are the same anime.
But for the
I'm
manga,
reading it, and they're separate
We're fine.
mangas, so...
Okay, let me think again. What's a good time skip? I'd have to grab my phone to just
Because
like.
I'm, talking about specifically time skips within a show. Like,
Isn't
lots
every
of
time
things
skip a
do-
spoiler? Why are we talking about this?
Because the thing is, the reason why I like 20th Century Boys is because it does a lot. It does
Yeah.
the same thing with this, where they olden up the characters
Yeah.
and then they introduce new casts. But they
this
do
one
that
they
6
don't own up
times.
all the characters.
That's
they own
what
up
I
some of
thought
the
was
characters.
really interesting. Like, every other
I
time
just
skip's
thought-
like, okay, we're going to jump forward, and...
I just thought
Some
they wanted
people
to
are
ask
gonna be-
weird
Hey, you know what
questions
else
about
did?
pedophilia,
You know what else
honestly.
did it? You know what else did this?
Oh, yeah,
time
did
skip?
you have a problem with...
Oh, I had a problem.
Oh,
with
okay.
Chisaki and
She needs to keep her fucking
Go
pedo-ass
for it.
pussy off
Go
that
for
dude.
it. Well, I look up some time skips.
Honestly, I don't...
I like how they pushed her forward just so they can go, okay, no, we're gonna put her with Sumagu now. We are forcing her on Sumagu. We are forcing Sumagu on her by basically taking away everyone else. That was just one of the many ways they had to turn
Yeah.
the conga line into pairs.
Well, no, I thought that was what made it was a completely different reason for that. It's not that they want to put her with Sumagu, it's that she's the one character who was super obsessed with everybody staying together and things not changing, and she was the one who had to deal with
Which is
changing
fine.
without other people, which is what I thought made her extremely interesting.
Yeah. But at the same time, how convenient is it that
she happened
that
to
she
stay
totally
with Sumagu?
lost, said that the boy she's obsessed over is now unobtainable to her because he's 5 years younger and a child.
Can you count the Anohana time skip as a time skip? Oh no.
No.
Because it happens before.
That's a
Yeah.
flashback.
Flashback.
God, I'm terrible.
Back-
Berserk time skip. From
No.
Golden Age to
Flashback.
Flashback.
Yeah, the entire Golden Age was.
If
a
it
flashback.
wasn't for the prologue, it's a
Okay,
I
if
forget
you don't
what it's
ca-
called. It's
okay.
like a window. They have a term in writing that kind of does that.
5 centimeters per second? And that's 3 stories.
That's 3.
3 stories at a time.
Sometimes it's a single movie, but sometimes they divide it into
Just
3.
yeah.
Berserk's like Frankenstein in the story progression way.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I can't say time skip because
It's spoilers.
no, because you don't like Code Geass.
Oh, do they time skip in that?
Yeah, Code
Why
Geass.
is this a big
Because Code
discussion?
Geass to R2 is from the first one to the second season is a time skip.
Separate seasons.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. Separate seasons, I can't argue.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's a
that
2-year
counts
time
as a
skip.
time skip.
It's a 2-year time skip. Or is it a year time skip? I don't remember.
I'll start on the artwork for the time skip tangent video.
But can you keep talking about pedophilia, girl?
Oh my god, no, okay, it wasn't that bad. She stopped. She went, okay, never mind, I won't do it. Right?
Yeah.
She goes, oh, I liked him, and I'm like, no, don't you fucking dare.
No,
go
but
for
I
it.
liked her whole entire point where it was, hey, I like him, but the only reason why I like him is because I felt like since everyone else got held back in time and I'm the only one who got forward, I'm not allowed to move forward.
I like that likes Monik.
No, but I like that. See, the thing is when
such
she's
a cheater mindset, man.
So the thing is when she got to when we get to the Sumagu part, I really appreciated that because she's like the reason why she's holding back her feelings for Sumagu.
No, she has good parts. Like I do like her in the second half, and she has like a lot of good like reasonings and conflicts and stuff she has to handle.
You just found the whole.
I just found like the way that the writers handle all this stuff. Just there's so many conveniences and so many perfect turnouts. Like nothing was messy. It just happened to like perfectly fit into place whenever they wanted it to.
Well, I'd argue that instead, that's why I called it. Part of the reason why I call it a knot in the beginning is because the whole point of the knot is that you're going to untangle the knot.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh, I just thought of another good one. 4.
4.
I'm at 4 now.
Oh. But
keep going, and then when you guys end off, I'll name the
because
timestamps.
you think all these characters don't want anything to do with each other, right? So you have these conflicts. You're like, okay, we're set up this way. We know this character likes this character, likes this character, likes this character, likes this character, or so we thought, right? Yeah. But they kind of, it almost feels like an ass-pull. Like, I know it's not since it's such a main point, but it feels like to me an ass-pull because like Monika just turns around. And after all that shit going, oh, I don't understand, and Hikari pushing him away and everything else, and all her feelings towards Sumagu, all the sacrifices she made just to impress him, right? For her to suddenly turn around and go, no, I like you, you're the more dependable. Oh, God, what are you doing? Okay. Cool.
Keep going. You're listening.
You're the more dependable one. That's fine. But, oh, he's drawing one out, isn't he?
Oh, you're drawing this out. Are you gonna visually show this, Dawson?
It was okay. Yeah,
I'll make this look better, and we can put it up.
Okay.
You had the blonde guy in the back, right? He had no one who loved him, right? He liked the blue-haired girl.
Are you trying to prove that this is a line?
Yeah, isn't that what Dawson's trying to disprove right now with the art? With his he liked the blue-haired girl, who liked the main character, who liked the main girl, who liked Sumagu.
No, but she liked main.
She liked not at the time.
If she always had feelings.
If she didn't know it,
she always had feelings,
and we didn't know it, and there were no hints towards it, it didn't exist. That is something that the writers changed, or they didn't change it later. They were planning on like revealing it later, but at the time, in our context, that didn't exist. It was a line to us, right? And then they pulled whatever they needed to do to turn like the correct amount of characters around, right? So what happened? Sumagu turned around, confirmed his feelings for blue hair girl instead of main girl, right? But he still went back, right? Blue hair girl turned around and goes, okay, now I like you. We're together. Move those out of the way. Now that that's left off, you can just take the main guy and main girl, turn around the main girl, go, okay, now I have feelings for you. Cool. Let's move off together. And then you have poor, what's his face, all by himself. Cool. We'll make one of the little girls grow up to his age, so now those two can get together, and then they're perfect off. Oh wait, what about this one girl? Oh, we'll add a guy that likes her, and then like that'll start in the line, and then we can turn around and those two will like each other maybe at the end. Who cares about her? It went from a line to everyone now has a pair.
They just turn, like, one person turns around and is like, okay, it's no longer unrecorded.
I actually enjoyed the competition bits between Sumagu and
Kaname.
Yeah, I loved the little back talk and all the snide comments towards each other and the black coffee shit. That was great, because that was an actual, like, problem. That was an actual complication.
That's little kid is encroaching on your woman, and you're like, dude, you don't have any chance.
Oh, Dawson, if you want to add a complication to there, add the little brother.
Oh, what's his name?
Pancho!
Concho.
Okay. Another great joke was like when she reciprocated on his little love letter.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking he was just
Oh,
going,
man,
"Oh, we
okay.
fucking or what?" And then when he
Yeah.
goes Concho, I was like, "Yeah!"
Yeah, there we go.
So before we get into that point, because I know you have a whole issue about that.
With what?
I have 5 time skips. 4 of them
Oh
you've
my
not
God.
seen. Dawson. Eden of
Okay.
the East does a time skip. Gatchaman Cards does a time skip. But I can't remember the other 2 that I just figured out, like, in the time period there. But Gurren Lagann, dude.
That time skip? I can't say that time skip was better than this time skip.
I like this time.
What did that time skip do that other time skips don't do?
Okay, they opened up the characters. They created a whole new city. Okay, yeah. Okay, it's a regular time skip.
Yeah.
But I prefer that time skip so much.
Every other time skip is just like, oh, we skip forward in time, yay, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. But this one, they like did the time skip, and some characters stayed, and some didn't. I'm
so
like,
you like the
this
fairy
is
tale
so
time
much
skip.
cooler. This is if that was done really well, and it wasn't.
Here's the thing: less characters means they
See,
can
that's
do
what I
it
like
better.
about 20th Century Boys, because the whole thing about the time skip is that the time skip is like part of the story where they're doing so many time skips.
How about that One Punch Man time skip?
There isn't that One Punch Man
I know.
time
I'm just
skip.
I was hoping
Hey,
you guys
guess
go,
what?
wait, what?
Guess what? That was 2 weeks ago. I get to talk about 1 this week.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, so where are we at? Are you still drawing?
I mean,
He's trying really
this
hard.
is what it looks like at the beginning of the first.
Here's the thing: we don't know about this, and okay, I will give you. We know about that one.
This works
Yeah,
so
no.
well for
totally-
for audio.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys know, Kaname likes Chisaki. Chisaki likes Hikari. Hikari likes Monica, and Monica likes Hikari back.
Which we don't know.
Monica is crushing on Sumagu,
And
and Sumagu has a thing for
Chisaki.
Chisaki.
Yes.
So this makes a circle with one
One
outlier
outlier.
that is requited, and Kaname as the outlier.
It's not. It doesn't exist if no one knows about it.
Dude, you know who knows about it? Chisaki knows about it.
But that's.
No,
does
Sumagu knows everything.
Sumagu knows everything, and Chisaki
But they
kind
don't.
of knows
I mean,
everything.
the audience. There is no hints towards it. It doesn't exist
Okay,
for us.
The Sumagu one we were able to call in the first half. Because we were like, oh
You
yeah.
even thought...
You even thought
Yeah,
that.
I said
You
possibly.
said you
no,
thought
I gave you that.
Chisaki
Remember?
might actually...
That was one I just gave you.
Okay.
I said
Yeah.
Sumagu, fine, right? And then we have,
See, but
and characteristically, we have poor Kaname out of the circle.
But here's the thing.
hilariously.
This becomes
Yeah,
less
like
of
asshole.
a conga line and more of a circle.
Conga lines can go in a circle.
It's more of a circle, but there's also a... I'm still gonna say
There
that
wasn't
there
any
are-
competition.
Okay, we're done with this.
No, I was gonna introduce characters for the second season. Or
No,
not second
we
season.
don't need to introduce those because
Second
we know
season.
Like
exactly.
I said, those characters were introduced just to make this work.
No, Bermuda.
Or Muna. Yeah, but dude, obviously,
Muna gets
best
the
girl
shafts.
has to get the shaft. That's how
Dude,
it works.
I feel like I'm the Guro of romance anime, where I'm like, why isn't best girl always win?
But no,
Like-
no, best girl does when she gets fucked by the author.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm moving on from this conversation. Hey, Connor. Hey, Monica doesn't have love.
Monica does not have love, except she has a great time with people, and she still cares about people, and she still says she loves people,
She doesn't
and
have
she still
roman-
cries over
She
stuff.
doesn't have romantic love.
No,
yeah,
but then there's the whole
Hikari
point.
goes,
There's
"Oh,
the
I
whole-
want her to have love, so she can have the kind of love that my family has."
Yeah. He says that, and that's where it throws that argument out the window. See, the thing is, if he doesn't say that, I would have been like, okay, she has no romantic love. And then Hikari's whole point in doing this is though she can have love as a family.
He goes, "Oh, when you showed how much you can love your mom, that really proved it to me."
That I need to go make sure that she can love somebody as much like that.
That's what I don't want her to miss out on.
I'm thinking.
We can come back to that.
Yeah.
I don't think you can have a rebuttal for that.
Okay,
I
here's
think
the
there's a way to.
because I didn't hate the show, and like the way that turns out, that's now a nitpick for me because there was like hidden things, which is fine. At the time, though, like the Conga line was terrible. I hated it, and I'm not backing down on that one. That was garbage. But second half did get a lot better. I do have quite a few like nitpicks though. First of all, like I almost dropped down a ranking when Hikari like reacted to her losing her memories. that was such a trope, for one thing, right?
It's,
He starts crying, he runs off, he unnecessarily shoves one of the characters, right?
Yeah.
And then you go, okay, where are you running?
and then,
Look where he ran, right to the sea god's shrine as he was running to an unspecific area.
Yeah. I mean, okay, also
this.
this world works under different rules than our world works in. Dude, there's a sea god.
No,
Yeah.
no.
The sea god's
No,
gone,
So
but
by
there is
by
a
other
sea
rules,
god.
do you mean when you're really sad and you're running away, you'll randomly run into a physical shrine that's always been
Dude,
there?
he has an attraction to the water and to the ocean, and
They
he's not
didn't
running
hint
to
at
the
that.
ocean, so he makes it to the shrine, the
They
closest
just
thing
jumped in
thereof.
the ocean. Okay,
You can still get to the city.
I'm not gonna complain about that one because that's just his nitpick, but
But that was such a big thing.
no. See,
Why would he do that?
You're nitpicking about are you nitpicking about how he ends up at the shrine, or that how he just shoves one of the girls down?
No, I'm nitpicking at like the reason he runs off to God knows where. Because okay, fine, she lost her memories. You're really emotional. You're gonna run off. Well, run off to like a corner of the school. It's like 5 feet away
Okay.
where no one can find you.
Okay,
I
have
actually
you
have a-
ever
I actually have a decent-
had strong enough emotions that you've run away from
Yes.
something?
No.
I ran halfway across the park that's in front of my house, and I went shit. I'm probably gonna get kidnapped, so I walked back.
Okay, because I got on a bike and I rode in circle for hours. And
Okay, I guess that's just something that I don't deal with because I don't get that trope of something emotional happens, immediately just run away. Like, because for me, I just sit there and let the awkwardness happen.
I have the strongest flight reflex of anyone I know. Like, fight or flight, I have an insanely strong flight reflex. So if anything happens, I just run.
Okay,
And get out of
'cause
there.
You don't know this,
So
but we
as
have to
mu-
cut this episode every so often because every time Dawson gets a little bit scared, he runs out the door.
Yeah.
You don't
It's-
understand how much editing I have to do.
it's ridiculous, guys.
Every time we confront him about a thing that we don't like in end, like you know that part earlier where we were just confronting him about that whole thing about the love part, he just ran out for a minute.
Yeah, I wasn't
He
quiet
ran
because
back
I was
with a piece of
thinking.
paper and a pencil.
But anyway, I don't know. I just don't understand that trope. And when he did that, I mean, I didn't have as much as a nitpick as he did,
Yeah.
but I could understand where he's coming
Well,
from.
it's because I
I'm-
actually enjoyed him as a character, and that was
Yeah.
an annoying thing for him to do.
Yeah.
The shoving was stupid too.
I thought the twist was, oh no, Monica has lost her ability to love. I thought that was the twist.
And
That was the twist.
And it's still
Honestly, I don't know what twist Connor was talking about.
Oh yeah,
Because in my mind, because we never confirmed that.
yeah. Because here's the thing, I don't remember because he kept going like, oh, the twist at that part is so amazing. You're like, what twist?
Because for me, the twist was the fact that
They time skipped and
yeah,
all the way through
if
it.
you had stopped at episode 12, and the way they did the time skip was the twist for me. Because the way they set it up in episode 12, everyone's gonna go to sleep.
Yeah.
Or nobody's gonna go to sleep. One of the two is gonna happen.
Man, she just gets the shaft there because she's like, oh, my friends are all sleeping. I'm just gonna wait on land until they wake up.
Yep. I'm just gonna chill here.
She could have easily just went back to sleep, but
No, she couldn't.
Who?
Shisaki?
yeah, why?
Dude, she...
There was no time limit on like they had to sleep by that point. They just said, "Oh, we'll end up sleeping at that point."
Yeah, we all sleep together. It was probably because she thought they were dead, not that they.
No, because they kept saying, "Oh, they're just sleeping."
Yeah. Why would you say that? Why would you keep saying that?
Because they were actually just
Because you think they're potentially dead.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to reassure yourself.
I don't know.
Also, because I'm assuming there's various reasons that kept her out of the sea.
Yeah, Kasumagu.
Yeah, Kasumagu.
Man,
And also,
She had
Kame has such a
responsibilities.
great moment where he just goes like, "I knew you'd never
No,
like
she
me."
had no one to live with, and I don't know.
also they'd been eating, so their
It would have taken her a
their
while.
Enna hadn't built up as much as the adults had. Like the adults fell asleep because they fell asleep, but part of the reason the kids fell asleep is because they were subject to such a sudden violent surge
Uh-huh.
of sea god, not sea god energy, but
No, we're gonna call it Sea God Energy.
I'm
from
just
now on.
gonna go with that.
No, it's emotions. Oh, can I read a great quote that I had to record?
It's just like trauma.
Okay, go for
when they
it.
fell asleep.
All right. Miru-chan helped me, and then all my lost feelings came back to me like breathing. That's because my Anna is shouting that I love Hikari. Yes, just like breathing, not only my feelings, but everyone's feelings came into my heart. Explaining why Monica didn't die in the water.
Did that happen?
Okay, I'm gonna go back to this. I'd rather have one of two things happened, which would have made this anime better. A, they never found Monica. I would have liked that this anime so much better. B, if Monica sacrificed herself at the end, I'd like that so much better.
I hate the sacrifice is such a stupid.
No, but I'd rather have see,
Real
that's
quick,
what I prefer.
adding to my argument of like everything just turned around and flipped around. Remember how it was such a tragic tale that the sea goddess didn't love him back?
Yeah.
Oh wait, now she loves him back.
The reason why...
Oh, the old guy knowing the rest of the story?
Yeah.
The old guy was a bro, by the way.
He's just like, dude, just bang my son already.
Just do it.
And not my son, my grandson.
Okay, did the people like in that story not look like the okay, remember how there was like the mom carrying two kids' hands? Did that not look like the two mains?
Hickory and Mom.
Oh yeah, no, it totally
What
did.
the hell was that?
That was purposeful.
That's purposeful.
What does it mean?
It
It's
means
just how
that-
connected to the sea they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, see, I love this because it's come around where, like, everything
Wait,
he
so are
brings
they
up...
incest?
No.
Because
No.
those were like, what if those were their parents?
No,
No.
that's not. That happened a long time
Then
ago.
why do they look so similar?
Anyway, I love the part that me and you, like, anything that's not the ending, me and you are easily agreeing on. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going.
Okay, keep on.
I made this list. I'm checking it twice. Okay.
Yay, Christmas time! It's past Thanksgiving, so Christmas can be talked about.
Alright, let's see. They still have that bullshit where people are always super passive and then at the worst possible times break out their feelings. But
That
that's like
happens
a constant
to
thing.
like
So,
actual
yeah.
people, though.
Yeah,
I
I've
put
had that.
I put a
had
note
that
here.
moment.
Realistic but infuriating.
What?
Yep. Oh. Yep.
See, I love this. How this is the reverse of last week, 2 weeks ago, where I started off really angry, and now Connor is like not as angry, but just reading off on a list.
Just like
Also, I thought it was a hilarious scene when Sumigu and the blue-haired girls are talking,
yeah.
and then it goes to Kaname peeking, and then there's someone else peeking on him.
Oh,
the blonde
dude,
girl.
I thought that was great.
That was hilarious.
It's like him talking to her and then back out, and it just keeps going.
I wanted it to just be the whole cast at that
The
point. They
entire
might as well
cast,
just
like,
gone, fuck it.
Looking
We're
at
doing
each
this
other.
much. I already talked about how I didn't really like the ex-brats romance.
Oh, Chisaki got drunk. That was great.
Yes,
Yeah,
you did.
I told-
that was actual alcohol.
No,
That's
no,
illegal.
because
No, it zooms in
because
on the label.
Sumigu grabs the bottle and it says non-alcoholic.
It goes wine. It's plum
Plum
juice
juice
without so whatever.
Yeah, soichi, which
Does
is
it?
alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, they zoom into it because we know Gekkan Shoujo. We know for a fact they couldn't use actual
This
alcohol.
is like too low.
Okay.
This is too low of a rating to like.
Okay.
We've watched Gekkan Shoujo.
I don't care. Anytime
No, that's what I said.
characters drink something
No,
that isn't alcohol, but is alcohol, like it has the effects of alcohol, but it technically isn't
Andrew,
alcohol.
did I not message you this exact thing? I
I
go, hey,
sh-
look, check that off Dawson's book. They're drinking alcohol. Bonus points, it's not real alcohol.
I
And then
always
she wakes
choose
up-
to
She
believe.
wakes up and she just goes, "Wow, I don't have a hangover. I must be a really good drinker."
And I love how the
Because she's
slimiest
not
character is
drunk.
like, why are you getting her drunk, though?
I know.
No,
I always choose to believe it's actually alcohol, regardless
No,
of the
but
fact,
it's
even
but
if stuff
it's
isn't
Sumigu.
alcohol.
Sumigu grabbing it. Do you think he is that irresponsible, that morally bad to grab actual alcohol? I don't believe so.
I don't care. I
Okay.
always will choose to believe it's
Building up-
actual
okay.
alcohol.
Building up on a previous point with the blonde characters and their romance, why is she in love with him?
Oh, her?
Yeah.
It's like...
She saw him 5 years ago, she had a crush for a few days, and then he went away for 5 years.
No, because they were there. They were on land for like a month. That
Okay.
was like a month.
Yeah, they spent a lot of time working on the stuff together, and she developed a crush, and then he just disappears. And a lot
then
of kids, especially at that age, are going to hang on to something like that
Yeah.
for a long time. Some people
Yeah, I hung on.
bounce back and forth
Yeah.
between different crushes, and other people
See,
are going to hang on to something
That's
for
the
years.
point. I don't mind because I understand that feeling. I'm
I
just
did
like
that.
liking a girl.
Segue.
Yes.
I hated this is a personal thing. You don't have to agree with me on this. I hated how much they still did the thing where they took Kitty Love and go, look how amazing and beautiful this is. This is important. This is like our conflict that we need to like show how important it is. And I understand that for the characters it is.
Yeah.
Right? But there is a fucking apocalypse going on in the background. Now, here's the good thing. Here's the good thing. Or is there? Because this little detail almost saved the show for me.
Huh.
When they wake up and they go, oh, we were just hibernating because we didn't want them fucking our girls anymore.
Yeah.
Was that not like a part they said?
Yeah.
That wasn't actually going to happen. They were just hibernating until everyone else went away so that they would wake up and there wouldn't be as much crossbreeding afterwards.
They said that when they hibernated, Connor, they said, why should we go to hibernate now? Like, the disaster's not going to happen until decades from this point, maybe even centuries. And then they go, well, we don't want to lose any more of our women, so we're going to go to hibernation now to prevent that. They said that in the first half. When they're first deciding on hibernating, they said that.
That explains it a lot better than I was thinking.
Also,
I love that.
What I would like to believe, this is never explained, so it's not canon at all, but I kind of think of a lot of time, is I feel like this world just has really long winter-summer cycles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they go for years between winter and summer, and
Interesting
spring
theory.
and fall and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just a natural hibernation cycle for them that's going to happen every
But
once
they
in a while.
said a few times this is summer. Like, oh, it's
Yeah,
summer,
even,
why is it
like,
so cold?
Even Monica
Yeah.
knows, like, wait, it's summer, why is there snow?
Yeah, I still...
Okay,
It's interesting.
can we go on a little gravity tangent just for... Or not
Oh,
gravity,
you
some
guys are gonna
physics
talk-
tangent just for some fun.
I'll let you guys talk about gravity.
Okay, physics is great. There is a scene where a girl
Okay,
crunches
wait,
on Pocky and
okay.
snaps Pocky underwater. And this isn't underwater Pocky. She either got it from the surface or barged into one of the underwater people's house and stole it, okay? Because they're all asleep at this point.
So, here's the thing I want to point out. Me and Connor, as the more engineering-based majors here, are complaining about the physics while Dawson is the...
But it is bad at points.
Okay, I complained about the physics in Classroom Crisis.
I know, I'm just taking a joke here.
I have decided people will always ignore physics if they really like the show to begin with.
Like Berserk.
Exactly.
But Berserk has pseudophysics
No,
and it
we are
knows
not
that.
going back onto Berserk.
Can't talk about Berserk.
Come
'cause
on,
we
man.
will talk about...
He used his sword as a plane wing to like guide himself back down to the ground.
No,
That was great. Okay, anyways. Tell me that wasn't great.
Stop with the Berserk
Tell me that wasn't
Berserk spoilers.
fucking amazing abuse of
I'm
physics.
sorry, but stop.
Okay, anyways, speaking of abuses of physics, if you are floating in the water and you land on the ground will not add to your speed unless you are already... it won't add to your speed. The only explanation for like some of the shit that happened is like on every time Hikari hits the cliff is, oh, he was already accelerating, but he wasn't. He gains a burst of speed as soon as he hits the ground and slips down, almost panicking at the new speed. It happens twice. It happened again at the end.
I feel like they just used the same scene over.
He used it as momentum the second time to get a running start. Like when he's going to like crash into the electric thing.
Okay.
He hits the ground and it slides super fast so they can get running momentum on the ground. Also physics. Why can they freely float in water without doing anything, and yet they can constantly push off the ground by walking and still be cemented to the ground? And then there was one more thing, besides the whole fire underwater thing. Oh, the worst offender of all.
Because here's like, I would say weighted clothes, but then at the same time, like, I don't know. I got nothing.
Here is the worst thing.
I don't know how
They should
underwater
explain
physics
that
works.
if there are weighted clothes. The worst thing is when Hikari is crying and his tears turn into bubbles. Right? And I go, that's weird. Why the hell are his tears bubbles? Oh, maybe those people just cry bubbles, right? It has to do with their enna or something. No, there are also tears running to the ground and hitting the ground underwater when he's crying.
I'd have to
I
watch
got-
the scene
I got
again to
nothing.
say something about that.
I got nothing, dude.
For
I
them
gotta say,
floating in water?
pseudo.
the reason they
I'm
do
feeling-
this-
Okay, the thing is, halfway through the show, I gave up and stopped commenting about it because all I have to say is pseudo water physics.
Yeah,
Like, if I'm going to defend Classroom Crisis for its pseudo space physics,
you can't knock this for.
Yeah, it's me being a hypocrite. I'm not going to even comment.
Yeah. If you like a show, you can ignore its bad physics.
But you can have
What
magnet
the
boots
conclusion I've come to.
in like a space world. Isn't that more of a like accepted thing?
Yeah.
Magnet boots aren't really a
I
thing
don't know, because I
underwater.
was just watching
I
the Soma
choose not
stuff.
to believe in magnet.
I was watching
I don't believe in magnets.
'Cause here's the thing,
Fucking magnets, how do they work? Stop lying
So
to
here's the
us.
thing.
Can't explain this.
No, dude, don't you know how magnets work, dude? They're rocks that are buried underground. And
No,
then you
they're
dig
fucking
up-
miracles. No, shut up, they're miracles.
No, listen to me. It's rocks buried underneath the ground, and you dig it up so fast, it still has some of the gravity left inside of it.
No, you're lying to us. You're part of the institute. Have you seen the like insane clown posse thing? No. All right, fine.
I
It's
guess.
great.
But anyway, I don't know. I don't know how pseudo water physics works because I just watched a whole video about Soma, and that guy's just walking on the bottom of the ocean. So I don't know. I don't know how.
Oh, I'm sure there's an exclamation. Video games always love their like pseudo exclamations for shit. They love babbling all day. It goes, oh, that works because of this.
I love a good pseudo explanation.
All right, what else do we have? That was pretty fun. Oh, I have a few like just funny questions. Does pointless CPR count as Yuri if it's two girls?
No, it's CPR.
But
It will spawn a Yuri ship,
Yeah.
but it doesn't
Yeah,
count as
because
Yuri.
I did see a bunch of people were like, "Wait, is this the new ship?" Oh wait, no, that's just CPR.
but CPR that doesn't work because she has Emma.
Emma?
Yeah, so CPR wouldn't work on her.
Wait, who are we talking about here?
Monica.
It's when they thought Monica didn't have Anna, so she tried to do CPR, but then she does have Anna, so the CPR was totally useless.
She tried to do CPR on Hickory too. It's just like her knee-jerk response.
Yeah, but she has.
No, Muna did the CPR on Hickory.
Oh, who did CPR
I thought Mina
on
did
Monica?
it on Monica.
No, because this is after Muna goes down to the bottom of the ocean. It's Chisaki who does the
Oh.
CPR.
People like attempting to give CPR.
That CPR is Showman sample. Soon here.
No spoilers. Alright. Oh, I love the mention of wanting to protect that smile for a second time.
Okay. Let me say something
Do it
about.
for him.
Let me say something about.
No. It was
cliches.
later. It was after that. There was one that was like, I want to protect his smile. And later it's Hickory going, I wanted to protect her smile.
Do it for him.
Let me say something really quick about cliches. A cliche is created when something works really well, and
then
then
it's
it's
overused.
later overused. But that doesn't mean it can't be used well after.
I'm not
It has
complaining.
become
I
a
just think
cliche.
it's funny. That is a funny ass saying for me. I want to
I want to
protect
protect that smile. Honestly, I really
Oh
want to
my
know the
God.
first occurrence of that.
Like, what are you gonna do? Fight in a war? No. Okay. Anyways, let's see. The climactic. Oh, I thought it was kind of out of character for this kind of show to do like a climactic explosion, screaming, him pounding on the like membrane thing at the end. You know what I mean? Did that kind of feel out of character for you guys as well?
When did this happen?
When it's him and Muna at the end?
When she's on
She's
there
trapped
and
in the
he's
thing.
like throwing himself at it and he's pounding.
And there's like fire and flames and everything's exploding. It's
I
like,
thought
is this
it was-
really the kind of show that would happen in?
I thought it was a lot different than a lot of stuff they showed, but I really liked it.
It was okay.
Like I'm swimming out of it and the whole thing like lights.
It would be a really hard thing to like change that because they needed to deal with the whole like gods and the water and everything. I just thought that was a little weird for this kind of show. This seems like the show where like it should be let's work out our problems because there's so much melodrama early on that it's kind of weird when like there's actual like stuff going on. You know
See,
what I mean?
if Monica stayed like sacrificed, it would have been
None of this would have happened.
and then I would have really liked it because I like.
That was a cool dream. I enjoyed like Hikari's guilt dream over
That's
that.
a nice
Oh, his
dream,
little yeah, that was really cool.
I don't like. The thing is, I don't like. Okay, Anohana had me in tears,
Yeah.
but this had me bawling like towards that end where I was like, it's like I was like, and it was stuff that I was like, I don't understand why my tears are flowing, but they just are.
They are.
I had a
And you
lot
were-
less romances in high school. I think that's what it is, but I don't like when it comes to melodrama and people going, "Oh, they don't like me back." I don't like care all that much.
Yeah.
I had too much of that, and I'm super apathetic for it. But I'm like Muna's
just
the
feel
best
like in the
character,
big
one of the
picture, it
best
doesn't
written
matter.
characters I've read or like watched.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're petering out. Are you almost done with your list?
Yeah. I just like watching stuff
Oh,
where
I also
other people do that sort of stuff because I find it interesting, but I don't actually like being a part of it myself.
Mhm.
So by watching it, I can watch this happen, and I can see that and feel like I get to understand these things
I like how
when I don't actually have to
I like
deal
Okay,
with them.
let's go to our
I
final
like
thoughts.
how Kaname, who's constantly in the background and constantly kind of the self-sacrificing character, ends up having to turn around and go, okay, I guess I'll try with you. He's the only person who has to do that. Everyone else is happy with who they got.
Except for Muna!
Muna is not part of this anymore.
Yuna never had a chance from the beginning, and
No.
I thought that was pretty
Shut
obvious.
I felt that she had a chance in that last episode, and then I was like, yes. And then they didn't have that conversation I wanted.
One more thing I wanted to talk about. Sumagu does not exist. There is no person that is so absolutely devoid of any sense of humor that I know.
Well,
He could have been like that dude in Battle Royale.
That's-
There's a guy in Battle Royale where when he was born,
Is that
there's
just
something.
a Japanese thing?
There was something wrong with his head where like he a part of his skull accidentally flicked up or like
No,
when he
but
was born
he
it
has
flicked up and then it affected his brain where like a sense of an emotion was.
But
So then he didn't have
has
any emotions.
He has emotion. He doesn't show his emotions, but he has like kind of guilt and he has like aspirations and he feels bad about stuff.
I know, but he could have just been born without like a certain emotion.
Like a sense of humor, I guess.
Just a loss of apathy.
I don't think that's what it is. I think he's just...
Or no, a loss of empathy.
They just took a character that is somebody who hides their emotions and doesn't show them very often and is bad at showing them. And when they do show them, they do it in a very sincere way and just kind of took that and pushed it, exaggerated it a little further. I mean, they don't do that with like all the characters. They kind of did that with a lot of their characters, actually.
Yeah, I heard a
They're
lot
just
of people
kinda-
complaining. He's like, "Oh, he has no emotion and stuff," and he does show emotions later. But I never see him like crack a joke. The closest thing he did was like the bitter coffee thing, and I was like, "Okay, that's really good." Right? But he never breaks down. Like bad shit's happening to him too. Like,
Yeah.
and another point where he sort of shows emotion, but like every character does this, and it pisses me off. When does it become an acceptable thing to go, I like you, and then grab them and crush them in your arms until they like push you away?
Oh,
Okay.
that... Yeah.
I
I have problems
yeah,
with that.
you heard my problems when I first said it. If she had no feelings for him and he was totally wrong, that would have been a totally
No,
different scenario.
That is because he comes back later and goes, no, tell me you actually like me.
Yeah.
And that's only because Kaname is like, no, she totally has a thing for you. Just do it again. Maybe she'll accept it this time.
I had a girl, I told you about this, but I had a girl whose friend did that to me. She goes, oh no, you should totally try again. No, that was so wrong.
Bad decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had people tell me that, but I didn't go to the lengths of hugging them and just not letting go.
It wasn't even a friend that I knew. It was just
I
her
feel like
friend
those are just Japanese
told me that.
things.
Just
I
Japanese.
mean,
Anyway,
yeah, I mean,
let's
a lot
get to
of-
final thoughts.
a lot of Japanese romances can be... No, I mean, this isn't just Japanese romance. A lot of romances in general
Mhm.
will have one character, specifically a male, oftentimes, being, like, awkwardly aggressive, to the point where, considering that the other person has a thing for them, it's fine. But if they didn't, it would be really weird.
Yeah.
So, it's
a thing.
it's not even a cultural thing. It's just something a lot of romances.
So, final thoughts. I will start with final thoughts, and then I'll move to Connor, and then I'll end with Dawson because he's the more positive one of those.
Yay.
Final thoughts is I really like this show for its moments, and it had really good moments, and Monica literally ruined this show for me. That's you know that. Muna is probably one of the best written characters I've seen. I think
so
she's
great.
probably one of the best anime characters, up there in favorite female characters.
I was so excited when she got Anna. Like,
Yeah.
my hype was... The first time I saw that, I was like, yeah!
We're
I
not-
know!
I liked it when the first person got Anna.
And then when
Was she-
Sumi
Because they were an outlier. Okay, moving on to my point, I feel like I expected stuff from this that it didn't want to give in the first place. Like, I should have been... I don't know. For example, I wish there would have been a moral going, oh, if you're 16, right, and you have love for someone... like
you get Anna.
It's like, it's constantly known, like, or at least semi-agreed on, that, like, when you're 16, you don't really understand love, or when you're under that age, you don't really understand, like, what love is. So it's not, like, a huge deal, and, like, you'll be able to move past that eventually, right?
Mm.
And that's sort of what they kind of went with Best Girl at the end, right? She's kind of going to move on, and I do agree that they should have had a moment talking about that, right? But it passes its own morals, and it's like a lot of, they have nice stuff happen, and everything is connected. You can understand the connections everywhere. To a point, it almost feels cliche. But again, there's points I don't like the moral that, if you drown yourself, you'll get Enna. So good job, drown yourself to solve your problems, guys.
And Dawson, take us out of the park.
And this show is great. I didn't want to spend the whole time gushing about it. I thought it'd be more interesting to listen to what you guys had to say, specifically
I think I took up the first, 10, 15, and then he took up the rest, hour.
This isn't my show.
Also,
no, you took up the first 30, Andrew.
Yeah. Also,
I think when we started going on time skips, I stepped away for a bit.
Yeah.
But keep going.
But, yeah, the farther I get away from watching a show, regardless of how much I like it, the less I remember about it very, very quickly increases.
Wow,
so
you have really bad
as
memory.
much as I remember, all I remember is the way I felt when I watched this show, and I slowly forget plot details more and more and more, and all I remember is, how I felt when I was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
So, this show, the first time I watched it, I thought it was okay. And the second time I rewatched it recently, I was like, hell yeah, I love this. This is so much better the second time through.
So the second time you watch it, you'll go online and defend it on Reddit.
I can't do that because I don't remember plot details well enough to actually structure confident-sounding arguments.
Well, I'm glad you let us shoot shit at your show for a bit.
But yeah.
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 And now
I have more of these to show you in the future.
Well, I'm excited for those.
I'll never have any of you watch.
Okay, honestly, Dawson, it could have been a lot worse.
So
it could have been so much worse than this.
You're so lucky about this, but sometime over our Christmas break, you're just not going to be on one of the episodes. It's just going to be me, Dawson, and my friend Jay talking about White Album 2.
Oh,
if you want to sit in on that,
I'll just watch the video afterwards.
I'm just saying, if you're welcome to sit in on that, or you don't have to say anything. You can just hear us talk about it and see what happens. But anyway, because I've decided we're gonna do that over break because it's just a lot easier.
Yeah.
To do that over break, and since we're getting a guest star online, hopefully I could get him to come on and
Guest star.
Anyway,
Guest star.
We need viewers for a guest star.
Technically, it's a guest.
Yeah, it'll just be a guest.
A guest who's a friend, and technically one of our subscribers. He's a subscriber.
Oh, he is.
Sorry, one of our subs. Anyway, hey, if you subscribe to us, you could be on the podcast at some point, maybe.
If we already know you,
and we're comfortable talking to you.
They don't need to know that. Anyway, moving on. Tangenting. We have a lot to talk about because it's been 2 weeks. And we've all kind of watched a lot of, or read things. Well, I've read one notable thing. And then there's a lot to talk about the fall season.
What I do?
I've read and watched a lot. To
You've
the point
read and
I don't
watched
actually remember half
so
of
you
what
get
I
your
read
list
and
ready.
watched.
Connor, you start us off.
With?
What did you do? You know what? You didn't read or watch anything. Go talk about Fallout. Just talk about Fallout.
Can I talk about Fallout?
Yeah, talk about Fallout.
If there's spoilers for me, you can't.
So after killing... No, I'm just kidding.
So why did you drop off of Fallout?
I got to the end of Nick Valentine's story mode, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I'm gonna go, look for another companion. So I go to, this Fight Club area, right? And I was
Did you get Kate?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. So it goes, you get this, this crazy Irish boxer lady in this area. I was like, oh, cool, there's, a Fight Club kind of arena thing. And I was thinking the whole Kekai Sensen, people love a good fight, even when there's, crazy shit going on in the world. So I came in.
He's a Spartan.
There's, 2 raiders on the side all tied up, and I was like, oh, I'll go release them. It's like, oh, there's no option to release them, whatever. And they're just shit-talking me, so I walk away. And then I walk in, and there's, a guy announcing, it's like, oh, cool. He goes, hey, you, step on down. And it's like, oh, God, it's going to be this thing where, you go in the arena and fight her, right?
Uh-huh.
No. He goes, wait, who the hell are you? Dude, you better run. Every person in the arena is a raider, and they want to kill you. So you end up murdering everyone in the area, and then the guy's like, shit, we don't have anyone to watch our matches anymore. Here, take this fighter girl off my hands. I don't want to deal with her until I get more customers.
And then you're just like, I'm
That's
done.
so great.
And I was like, okay, this is a really interesting character. And then Nick goes, hey, can we still adventure with each other? And I'm like, I felt really bad, like, up to that point. And I was like,
That's
you
how
know
I
what?
feel every time I meet a companion. I'm like, but my dog.
No, it wasn't that. Okay, it wasn't that. Early on, like, after I finished Nick's thing, he goes, I understand if you want to part ways now. And I'm like, oh, that's terrible. I wouldn't want to do that. So, like, okay, we'll hang out for a bit more. So I find the next companion. And then afterwards, and I go, okay, go back to base and wait. And instead my character goes, it's time for you to go, Nick. Like, in a really sad tone, and Nick goes, oh, that's a shame, and walks off. And I was like, no! and then I go, I can't do this. I would feel too bad, so I shut off my game. And then I stopped playing.
Right there, I was just like, I'm sorry, Nick.
Here's the thing. I do not want to go for one of the factions right now. I
Yeah.
can't, like, choose one.
Anyway, did you figure it out? Actually, I'll go because mine's quicker.
This
Yeah.
was the video game podcast, sorry.
I only did one notable thing, and that was 2 weeks ago, and I kept talking about it. I keep talking about this with Connor, where I went home, if you remember that the last podcast,
Yeah.
we were in a rush because I had to go home for a little bit. And when I went home, I was really bored, so I opened up 1, because Connor kept insisting for us to read it.
Yeah.
And I read it. And I agree on everything that Connor has ever said about 1. It's amazing. I don't know what Murata is doing with One Punch Man. My thought process is that Murata literally goes, he looked at the webcomic and went, oh,
It's going to take a lot of time to draw.
oh, how am I going to do this? This is going to take me like a year just to draw 1 panel. Oh. And then when I'm going to just I'm going to make sure, because trying to be as non-spoiler as possible, there's a moment where a bunch of the side characters that are all, in my opinion, more of the prominent main characters, if you watch my video, I talked about it a little bit, of One Punch Man, they all get together and they all go do a thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's like a couple people who aren't present there. And what I'm thinking is that in this little thing, he's answering why those couple of characters...
But here's the thing, Garu was already there at the time.
I know, but there's a couple characters of the Hero Association that aren't present in that thing that they do.
So they're trying to explain them away.
They're trying to explain why they weren't there. Because it would make no sense why Metal Batman would not be there. It would make no sense why Metal Knight would not be there. Actually, it would make sense why
Oh,
Metal
it
Knight.
makes so much sense.
And so the thing is, I agree now of like, what is Murata doing? What is this tournament? We're literally, it's my complaint about most anime where it goes, there's this cool thing over there, but why are you here?
But here's the thing, there's
Why are
no
you
point to
here?
the tournament, because they're like, oh, Garu's going to be at this tournament, but we know before the tournament that Garu's not there.
But like,
It's weird.
one is really good. 1 is super good. And, like, I said this on Reddit at some person who goes, I just finished reading One Punch Man. What do I do next? And people were suggesting them. And then somebody was at the bottom was like, read the webcomic. And I went, this. Because if you think anything that's going on in One Punch Man right now is as hype as what happens in 1, almost like they're at the doorstep of it. They haven't stepped through the doorway. They're getting there.
He's stalling there.
He's stalling. Like, it's that moment where, like, you're trying to ask a girl out, but, like, you're too nervous to say anything, so you're standing in her doorway, but you don't want to leave.
You haven't left yet either.
You haven't left, but you haven't done... It's the same thing.
And
Where,
here's
like,
the thing, in 1 there's shitty artwork, and then there's godlike artwork in between. Like, they hide some really good art.
But the thing is that anything that was in One Punch Man, in my opinion, does not hold a candle to the hype that is the 40-chapter Garo arc.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
MA arc.
I even said this on the thing. He goes, you haven't even gotten to the Garo arc yet. You think you're at the Garo arc. You're wrong. You're not there. And that's what I did with my 2 weeks, besides doing a ton of work and watching my weeklies. And
Shilling.
Shilling Indivisible.
Unrelentingly.
Hey, please support Indivisible. It will be over by the end of this week. Eh?
By the time you watch this video, it will already be dead. No, I'm sorry.
Possibly. Oh.
Or alive.
It's
Tier.
actually only 250 left, like 250K. Like, that's pretty good. We were...
How many people are going to watch this video in the next 5 days?
No one. But that's all I have to say about one. I did contemplate dropping anime, but eventually I'm going to have to watch those ones, so... Like, I don't have anything to say about Lance and Mask, because I kept looking at it, and I went, I can't watch Lance and Mask. I feel too good right now.
Too good to watch.
Well, I'll get to that later. You go next.
Yeah. I did a decent amount of rewatching and then half watching, alongside reading a couple things this week. I was having trouble like deciding on what I wanted to do and watch because I lent Fallout to a friend for a while, so I could actually get work done, and that involved me finding other ways to procrastinate. So because it was raining, I rewatched Aira, which is this like 12 episode series of like 3-minute shorts that are just really nice and slice of lifey. You guys shouldn't.
So
watch.
it took you about an episode's worth to watch the entire series.
Something like that, but I put it over a couple of days, which was nice.
Mm.
And then I rewatched My Little Monster, which is a great shoujo romance.
I'm waiting for that thing. I'm waiting for that thing.
I got halfway through Nichijou. No, I didn't get halfway through. I'm a couple episodes into Nichijou, which is a hilarious anime by Kyoto Animation.
Like, everyone says it's the best.
Everyone says it's great.
I could see why.
I'm thinking it's great. Watching it, it's pretty awesome. I also decided I wanted to watch some generic schlock, so I'm like halfway through the irregular Magic Academy, which is most definitely generic schlock.
We were here I was talking to you like a week ago, and you just started that, and you just never finished it.
Nope. I'm only like a couple episodes into Nichijou. I never finished that. I was like, when I was talking to you about that, I was also halfway through rewatching My Little Monster. I read a 4-chapter manga that I can't remember the name of. That's it was enjoyable. It was very similar to the plot of My Little Monster because I want to read that at some point, but I haven't had the time to yet. And I also read first.
You don't understand how big my manga list is getting because I'm just like, the minute I have downtime, one of those just pops up onto my screen, and I'm just gonna go through it in a day.
Yeah, I have so much manga that's just been piling up,
that
too.
moment when you realized you were supposed to message your parents when you got home.
And you forgot.
Yep.
But anyway,
wow.
Keep going.
But yeah, I'm probably missing something. Oh, I bought a bunch of visual novels over the break.
Are you just waiting?
I'm putting that last because I figured you wanted to say something about that, too.
No, I just want to talk to you about it.
Yeah, so I bought a couple visual novels. I bought this really cool game that I can't remember the name of, but it's like a Japanese picture book, and you're this dude who like walks through it and does puzzles.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's really pretty. I'll show you guys at some point. It's actually really cool. I haven't finished it, but I'm going to soon.
You Nero guys?
No, none of them are H. I got them on Steam, so I don't think Steam really does that.
They did
But-
Honey Pop.
They did.
That's
Honey
only
Pop,
because you
but-
have to patch that.
Yeah, like anything I got, even if
And
it's
some of the stuff that you don't have to patch is pretty
You still
there.
have to patch that.
yeah.
Mm.
But I got some cool stuff. I can't remember most of them right now, but they're kind of interesting. And then, yeah, the moment Andrew's waiting for, I finished part 1 of JoJo.
Yeah!
And reading it.
Did you start part 2?
I didn't get very far into part 2.
Oh, okay.
JoJo, like, shot a coke cap at some dude.
That's the best.
And, like, destroyed his
Okay.
face.
Oh, you got to good JoJo now.
Yeah. Dude, I had to stop. I couldn't take any more JoJo for a while.
So you're going to take a break and then you're going to pick up part 2 again?
I'll probably read it in stints of parts.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I'll read a part
Okay.
and then drop it for, like, a couple weeks and then read another part. Because
No, that's
this
honestly-
is something I can't
Honestly,
read
until you get...
continuously.
I agree with you. I literally took breaks between 4, 5, 6, 7, and then picked up, like, 8. So the thing about the endings of JoJo is that they're so hyped that you're just like, I just read a full manga. I have to, like, stop.
That is not the reason I stopped.
That's also
I stopped just because I can't physically handle that much JoJo in a row.
Yeah, I know. For me, it was like, wow, that was hype. Like, part 1, not necessarily. But when you get to, like, later on the parts, I had to, like, put it down. Or, like, in part 6, I was crying when I was like, well, I can't go to part 7 for, like, a week or so.
Huh.
And then I finally like sat down. I was like, okay, I'm just
So you don't
on
have
part
any
seven.
nitpicks you want to share with us with JoJo? Anything you found just utterly, amazingly stupid?
I mean, for me, for some reason, the weirdest thing, besides the fact that there's, all the characters were just so flat in the
Okay.
first part. I don't
So
know about the
that's only-
second
That's
part.
only the first
That's
part.
totally the first part.
The
That's the first
every
one.
single
Even
character
Speedwagon,
was.
the dude who was just there going, "Look how cool this is."
I feel like Speedwagon was much cooler in the anime version than in the manga version. Because
There's the
I
part
can
though
imagine how
where
he-
he just goes, I can't do anything. Let me warm up your hand.
yeah, they had like one panel of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but also for one thing that I don't know why this stuck out to me,
Mhm.
but whenever Speedwagon's like talking about something happens, he's like, "Oh, he just did this. What a guy!" And in my head, all I hear, I don't know if that was just my translation, but all I hear is just this like repeated phrase of "What a guy,"
No, I
repeated
feel
like over and over again in my
that
head.
sounds
I'm
like Speedwagon.
oh
It sounds
my
like
God.
Speedwagon.
He's just
So the thing is,
he's
that's why
literally just a hype man. It's
the
it's
first,
like
the first
stupid.
part one is just backstory. It's
Yeah.
all backstory, and then you get to like part two where Joseph actually has a bit of a he's not like he's
Joseph is not his like grandpa.
he's not like
Yeah,
Joseph has a lot of personality to him. So does Caesar, and so does a lot of the
Yeah.
characters. Because as it goes hot, cold, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot. Like it just interchanges from it. Where you start off with Jonathan, and he's
Yeah.
he's kind of flat, so he's very cold,
yeah,
and he's not very like hot blooded. He doesn't have a lot of personality to him.
yeah.
Then you have Joseph, who has a lot of personality to him. Then you go to Jotaro, who doesn't have a lot of personality to him. Then you go to Josuke, who like he's just brimming with a lot of like personality and a lot of like there's a lot of stuff. And the characters as he goes more, there's a lot more character there's a lot more layers within the characters.
Okay, yeah.
Like, it's
'cause
only
this
part
entire-
one. It's only part one, and that's why a lot of people have the problem with part one
Yeah,
getting started is because it's not as interesting as the rest.
it was so flat and the pacing was off, and I still enjoyed it
Uh-huh.
for sure. I
But
like
part two,
Screaming
hopefully,
Overdrive was always fun. Overdrive.
So part two, so that one where they were just using Haman as like a weapon.
Okay,
No one uses after part 2. No one uses him on anymore.
No,
is it officially called Haman?
it's
Because the translation I read always called it
Ripple.
both Sendo and Ripple.
okay.
Never mentioned Haman.
It depends on which translation.
They
you-
turn it to Haman halfway through second or the start of third. They call it Haman instead.
Yeah, there's Haman and then there's Ripple. It goes by a lot of translations.
Okay.
Ripple's another good one because you've played the Persona series. The reason
Yeah.
why it's Haman is because remember how Haman is light,
Yeah.
and basically they're fighting vampires with light.
Yeah.
But
well,
then
that's
also
that's
it's
the weird
Ripple.
thing, because
Or it's also Ripple, where it's like they're
Ripple seems different than Haman. Like, Haman seems like it would only be talking about
light.
Sunset Yellow Overdrive,
Yeah,
whereas
Ripple
is talking about any form of
Yeah.
quote-unquote overdrive.
It's more like
See, here's the
life
thing.
energy.
Here's the
In
thing.
a way.
Haman's great, and then you get Spin.
What?
Spin's in part 7, where they
Let it rip.
where
Big blades!
no, but like Spin is like you take Haman and you make it even more interesting. Where there's so
Okay.
like there's literally like so much concept to Spin that goes on with it. Where
Is
like
it like spiral energy?
no, it's not
Okay.
like Spin. It's basically the same as Haman. Like they use it as
Yeah.
a weapon, but the concepts behind Spin is the same as Haman, but a lot more interesting.
Okay. One thing that was also really weird, with the exception of like Sunset Yellow Overdrive, every other form of overdrive was like only used once. And Jojo just like pulled it out of his ass. He's like, okay, I have a new overdrive for some reason that I'm gonna use.
But here's the thing, Dawson. They all do about the same thing,
This
so
is
it doesn't
true.
matter. It's,
And then
you
you get-
could tell
okay.
it's what I was asked because he literally just doing like
The
overdrive.
same shit, just
And
through a
then you,
different
and then
material.
you get to part 2, and then literally just like the way they use Haman is like, oh
Completely
wow,
changes.
Yeah,
it's-
if you thought there was assholes before, you should see Joseph's crazy shit. Like, it doesn't seem like assholes though, because he does it in
Like-
creative ways.
yeah, he does it in creative ways. He's like, okay, I'll infuse this with Haman
Yeah.
and then use this weapon instead. And like, it's like going
Yeah.
from using just a sword to like the
You may
exotic
have cut all my
weapons.
ropes, but I had other
Rope.
ropes.
And part 2 becomes a lot of like mind games where like
Okay.
he's making and then part 3 goes back to like, well, we're introducing stands, so
Yeah.
it becomes again very bland with the fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And oh my god, you could go through part 3 and like that because it's literally okay, win the fight,
Yeah.
win the fight, next, and then you get to part 4 where like they're now like they go back to that whole like mind game thing, and the stands become even more useless.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this dude's stand is that if a person feels guilty, a lock just appears on their chest and it just weighs them down. That's his ability, and he uses that to con people out of millions of dollars.
Goddamn.
Or like the person who just plays rock paper scissors. It's like it's these useless powers, but then when they use it correctly, you go,
That's
okay, there's a
interesting.
lot of thought.
And then you get to part 5 and suddenly power spike. Like insane
Okay.
power spike.
No, part 5 is literally life or death battle every single fight. Like part
Yeah,
4 was not really as life or death.
Part
Or
4 is the
the-
only part that's not life or death though.
there's moments where it becomes life or death, but like there's a lot of fights where we just found
just
this.
turned into JoJo. Don't mention JoJo around Andrew and expect to get away.
And then part 5, it goes to the team battles where everything's literally like the person's on like it. The thing is, they had to give the main character healing abilities from that point forward.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't, it's so hard to go through a lot of those fights. Because in part 3, they get out a lot of those fights like without a lot of like
Yeah.
without a scratch on them, except for like that Iggy fight that
Yeah.
you saw.
Yeah, where he
Like he loses an arm.
gets fucked up.
But in like the future parts, they actually had to shoehorn like, okay, we need healing abilities because we need to have the ability of seriously cutting a dude's limb off
Yeah.
and then having him be able to get that limb back for a later fight.
Okay.
But again, it starts really bland, and that's why
Yeah.
part 1, like everyone just goes like,
Why?
part 1's not as great, and then you just
Yeah.
keep going. You're like, this
I'm
is
thinking
interesting.
of watching part 2 and only watching
Part
part
two,
2 and
yeah.
reading everything else.
Yeah, I'd suggest that. You could just start off like at 10, and then you're good.
Yeah.
It's like a really quick watch. Like again, it's like
Part 3 is really well animated though.
it's really well animated because it's David Productions, but it's slow.
Just watch part 2 of part 3.
No. Just read it. Because here's the
those
thing.
intros.
But here's the thing.
I'll just listen to the intros as I watch their respective
No,
parts.
watch the intro.
Watch the intros and then listen to it
Okay.
in the background alongside the endings as I...
And then,
Read their
when you get to the
respective
last
parts.
chapter, watch the intro for the last episode.
I was totally listening to Roundabout as I read through all of the first part.
No,
Yeah.
but seriously, when you get to the Dio fight with Jotaro versus Dio, open up Stardust Crusaders final episode and just watch the intro to that.
And then
Okay.
close it and then keep reading the
Okay.
But like watch the first intro, like watch the intro when you start reading part 3,
Yeah.
and then when you're about done with part 3, watch the final intro.
Okay.
Oh
They-
yeah,
they-
so
they changed
since
the
you
thing.
read part 1, like if you didn't know anything about JoJo, about how there's different parts and stuff like that, how was that death right at the 11th hour just like, what?
Which one?
Like the main character just dying at the end.
Oh. Yeah, him just like dying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't care about him as a character that much, so I was just like, oh,
He's
Okay.
He died.
sounds about right.
Yeah, I care about a lot more of the characters later on. Like, I care about the characters in part 2.
Yeah.
Part 3, I cared about them a little bit. And then in part 4, there's some characters.
Now here's the question, Dawson. How do you think Dio comes back after that?
There was a second coffin. That's all I know.
There's a second coffin.
All I know is somehow
But
there was a
wasn't a
second
second coffin.
Part 5, I think I liked most of the cast. Part 6... So, like, when it gets to the parts where, like, characters start dying in the later parts, like,
Yeah.
they have more impact because you're like, that was a likable character. I like
Yeah.
that character, though.
Part 3 does that. In part 2.
Yeah.
Well, like, Dyer died all of a sudden, and he'd been introduced, like, 2 chapters beforehand. 3 chapters
He was an
beforehand.
expendable character.
He, like, shows up, and then he dies. And I'm
But,
like,
like,
oh.
But the thing is, like,
Okay.
later
At least you
on...
have Straits, though, huh?
Yeah,
later
Straits
on...
is still around. Is he in, like, the next part?
Yeah.
Okay.
But later on, like, you have characters that are throughout the entire part, so you're getting connected to these characters.
Yeah.
Like, part 7 is notable for that, where there's chapters where it's just Johnny and shit, what's his name? I don't remember, Johnny and his counterpart,
Yeah.
them just shooting the shit. Like, they just sitting there, like, drinking coffee and talking
Speedwagon?
about it. No, there's a different character.
Oh.
But them just, like, having, like, random moments. Or just, like, there was a
Or not
chapter...
Speedwagon, I mean Zeppelin.
Yeah. There's a chapter where literally it's them riding their horses, and then Zeppelin just goes, "Hey, Johnny, want to hear a joke?" And Johnny's like, "Yeah, sure." And then Zeppelin gives a joke, and Johnny's like, "That's pretty funny, Zeppelin." And then the chapter ends.
Solid. Solid.
So yeah, part 1 is not what you should base all of JoJo
Yeah,
on.
That's
Part
what I
4 is what you should base all of JoJo. Part 4 and 7. But anyway, moving on from the JoJo.
we need to talk about Berserk.
Oh yes.
Den Dawson needs to sleep.
Well,
it's
we have a couple.
11:30.
Yeah, we have a couple more things to talk about, and yeah, Berserk.
So, remember when Berserk did that 7-year time skip where all the characters moved ahead 7 years, but the audience was left behind? And so when they came back, the audience was 7 years older.
It was a serious turnaround.
They all
guys.
fell into the ocean and hibernated.
We've been hibernating.
Okay,
So
Wait,
that
so-
time skip just ended.
so Berserk spoilers at this point. So JoJo spoilers back there. Berserk spoilers now.
They got off the
If
boat.
you haven't heard, they got off the boat.
It has been 7 years. You get back down. You've been reading Berserk for 2 years.
I
Get
know.
back down.
2 years?
No, not even that.
even a year.
I'm at like 3 or 4 or something like that.
I know,
like,
but I can still celebrate Berserk.
Like, there's people who literally waited 7 years since they got on the boat. She's like, it's been 4 years since, like, Guts hasn't been back.
Yeah,
right?
and now they're
So
like,
when I got there, we haven't seen Guts since, right?
8 years since they got on the boat.
I thought it was 7.
It's like 7, really close to 8.
but so they get off the boat and they're actually on Fairy Island.
Yeah, they made it to the
I
island.
like Puck's little story where like he was
Oh,
heading
yeah.
back to like Fairy Island
It's
and
literally just like,
And
I
he's
fell
like
off a
Berserk
bird.
prologue.
he fell asleep on a bird
because
and
did you
rolled off.
guys read the?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just goes Berserk for a while. Nice. No, like, that translation is wrong, because, like, in the original part when it's Guts seeing the island, he goes, hey, we reached Fairy Island, that was fast. And everyone, unfortunately, just went, fuck you. Fuck you, Miria.
Yeah. Wait, I feel like the translation I read didn't say that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah, but the original translation was like, well, that was fast.
Fast. Gotcha.
So they get onto Fairy Island. They're told that hey, time flows differently on Fairy Island. So,
Yeah.
but the way that they
Characters
explain
could get older.
the way that they explained it is that don't like get lost and like caught up in Fairy Island. Like always have your sense of time.
Yeah.
Always know
I feel like this isn't gonna lead to a time skip.
as long as they play their cards right.
Yeah, I feel like it's meant to add a sense
But-
of like impending danger.
If they do a time skip, holy shit, that would be a cool time skip.
I don't know if I'd want that.
But like, what if Rickard's
Adult
older?
record.
Or like adult Rickard. Hardened
No.
adult Rickard.
I don't really want a time skip in Berserk. I mean, maybe if he does it, I'm gonna like it, but as of right now, I don't want a time
Dude,
skip
it's the
in
same.
Berserk.
It would be
Come
the
on, man,
same
yeah,
time skip as Nagi-Asu, where the characters are stuck on a place, and then the rest of the world proceeds
I mean,
ahead
they
of
just did a hiatus, so he might want to skip the characters ahead 7 years to make up for that lost time. I'm done. Also, oh boy, scarecrows.
it. Hey, dude, we're
such a
back
cool
at Guts.
enemy.
We're back at Guts though.
Just get to see Guts rip apart scarecrows.
It's alright, that'll scare him away. Didn't we already see this shit before? With the clay dolls?
Clay dolls?
Yeah.
There were no
At
clay
Shrike's.
dolls.
No,
Shrike's
they're-
place.
She had clay dolls, but
yeah,
there
But
weren't.
he's making the equivalence of it. We're like,
Oh,
they were trying to scare them away.
with yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think that's implying that
I
we're
love
about
how-
to meet magic
okay.
users.
Yeah.
I
Or which is-
love the team that he's now assembled. Where like I finally
Dude, it's
took a look at it.
surprisingly big team.
Yeah, because you have like the brother of Ferenz, who's just like he's constantly like, why am I here? Why am I here?
He's making deals with Puck.
Yeah.
Because-
He's conspiring with Puck.
He's
That's
like,
amazing.
I'll make you the.
You have
Puck.
like
It's Puck's Balet confirmed.
you have like the fiance guy just like chilling out with them now. You have Azan, the spear guy.
The guy with the quarterstaff?
Yeah,
I don't remember his name, but yeah.
you have him.
He
Yeah.
actually
That
fought
shit.
evenly with Guts for a while, but Guts was incredibly injured during that point, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only reason why, like, that was after he did all of the fairy arc.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're back on Guts. That was, for me, that felt like a really short chapter. well, hey, we get a
It was a rather long chapter.
Yeah, actually, it was rather
Really?
long.
It felt short for me. I guess I just kind of skimmed through it because I was waiting for the officials. I got the general gist of it.
Yeah.
Puck wasted a lot of everyone's time.
With that story he told.
It wasn't that much.
It wasn't.
Um,
Well, looking through it the first time, it felt pretty short because it was just looking at like Korean scans of it.
And I mean, this was
But-
predictable, but the art quality did skip down a little bit.
yeah.
There's parts.
Honestly, I
you
didn't
could tell.
feel like
I'm glad.
unless you're
considering that-
nitpicking it. I
Yeah,
don't think
it was
it's
still
to the
like
point of
enjoyable.
really mattering.
But when you look at people's faces, it doesn't look like artwork anymore, you know.
Yeah,
But that's the price you pay for a monthly, and I'm glad it's on monthly now.
yeah, I'd prefer this.
I have shit I want to do, and I need Berserk to liven up my life every so often, and
That's the
possibly
most
darken my life.
I was about to say, like, that sounds a very not like.
Dude, come on, how dark is Berserk now?
That's
Not
true.
really.
When was the last time Berserk said something
Anyway,
something dark besides leave the
Yay,
fans
Guts is off the boat.
suspended?
We're gonna be on Fair Island. We now have a Fair Island arc. We have a Christmas chapter.
Oh God, Morals chapter is coming up.
Hey.
Do you give Casca back her memory?
Yep.
Want to start taking bets on that now, or should we wait?
Are we actually? Isn't that like an amazing thing that we can actually start doing bets on that?
No,
And it might happen in the
I'm gonna
foreseeable
wait.
future.
I'm gonna wait until like
We're closer.
we're closer, just in case he just suddenly goes on hiatus.
Yeah,
no,
but-
no. The Fairy King gives him the option. He goes, okay, Guts.
Knock on wood.
He goes, okay, Guts, give Casca her memory backs or not. And then Guts goes, I'm going to cut off there at the bottom hiatus.
Berserk will continue
Whatever.
soon.
A year later, back to Rickard for like another
Date
year.
pending.
And then Moira dies. Miria dies.
Anyway, that was our Berserk shill of the week. I mean Berserk excitement. Guts is
No,
off the
it's
butt.
fangasming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until next time, Dawson, we have words to talk about UQ Holder.
Can I go?
Yeah, this shouldn't be too long. I don't
Okay.
have a lot to say about Yuku Holder. Besides the fact that
How
Are
do
you
you
depressed
feel?
now, Dawson?
How
It
do
just-
you feel?
I'm a little disappointed in...
Oh, it happened?
No.
No, it didn't.
That's the
That's
thing.
the thing. He completely avoided it.
He completely avoided it, but it's like
Which
a
I
lot of-
should have seen
Is it
coming.
just like date pending
No,
avoidance?
no.
Or
Here's
like
the thing.
we're not going to
He
address this ever?
legitimately chose. Like a lot of people are saying that he actually chose.
He legitimately chose
To be a
dude.
and it solved everything. But then, just like Nagi no Asukura and just like Punchline, they added one extra thing right at the end that just dropped the ball, like and
Little
like,
cat.
ruined it.
Basically,
Like he
he
decided
decides to be a dude, and I'm like, cool, this is good.
like
And then, what's...
Kuromaru,
No.
Toda.
Toda's like, oh hey, is your sister coming back? She was pretty hot. And then his sister was actually
Him, dressed as a girl.
Dressed as a girl. So, and then he's like, oh, Doki Doki. And then,
He goes to sleep and he just goes like, I still have these feelings. What do I do with them? Oh no,
Yeah.
oh no.
and we're right back to where we started.
Oh.
So the thing is,
So this
literally
is a
just
later
did a
date kind of
circle.
thing.
so here's the thing. A lot of fans are like, well, this is a very like typical Ken Akamatsu thing to do.
It is, but I was, for some reason,
You
I was,
expected so much.
I
from
was
My character
hoping he
totally
would do
advanced,
more with
guys.
it.
Yeah,
Seriously, ha!
Because the thing
I
is,
should.
you followed
Okay,
this up from
it's because I'm reading this weekly now.
yeah.
If this
yeah.
had been like Negima, where I was just reading it, I wouldn't have.
Had
It would
these-
have just been over in a couple
Because
chapters.
you're reading it chapter by chapter rather
And I-
than
Yeah.
like, as a
Yeah.
mesh of things.
Yeah, and I'm
Exactly.
kind of interested in like to see you do these chapter by chapter.
I'm gonna have a lot more problem with things if I read them chapter by chapter. Just so you know.
No, I know, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
So if it gets to a point where it gets too much, I will be like, okay, Dawson, we're gonna drop this bit. You could just drop UQ Holder for like 3 months, and then I'll tell you when it's like
3
Come
months.
And it'll be
Is
good.
it a monthly?
No, it's a weekly.
Jesus.
Just let an arc finish up.
That
so
little
that's what
whore.
I'm doing with
That's what I'm doing with
Yamada?
Yamada.
Yamada.
Dude, this arc just keeps going.
I love Yamada, and I'm waiting till it gets.
I don't know where it's going. I'm literally sitting there just going like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Here's the point. Here's the problem with Yamada right now. they go, okay, we had this issue. We have the solution to this issue. And they even say that. Like, we have the solution to this issue. Isn't this great, guys? And everyone's like, yeah, this is the solution. And then you know what they fucking do? They go, okay. They approach the guy who could fix their issue and go, hey, now that everything's been resolved on this storyline over here, everything's all nice.
I know this is super broad.
Yeah.
But I still don't want to hear this.
I know. I just let me just do this. Where he just goes, okay, guys, hey, we're gonna have to wait a couple months until we can do this. So go, putz around for the next couple months.
Nice.
Yeah.
So basically, Dawson, they're just gonna be putzing around, and I don't think any plot's gonna happen for the next couple months.
That's cool. I'm fine with that. Not that I'm caught up. Speaking of, I have a decent amount of weeklies now, and I'm actually
like following them.
I actually am following them. It's really weird. Like,
yeah,
I've been keeping up with Shokugeki and My Hero Academia.
I remind you of like Jitsuwa and Yukio Hoarder.
I've even been being ahead of you on those recently.
No, I'm always there.
Sure.
The only thing with Yukio Hoarder was where you like,
Hoarder that one
where
time.
I was literally watching like Salty Bet, and then you were like, "Hey, dude, Yukio Hoarder." I was like, "Dude, we were just hanging out like a minute ago."
Yeah.
And you went back, and you're like, "Okay, there's new Yukio Hoarder."
Yeah.
So okay, I better read that.
Yeah.
But moving on to Jitsuwa real quick.
Yeah.
I just got one thing to say. Like, dude, that Shima stuff is what I like.
Just watching Shima
Dude,
be a rapey motherfucker.
Dude, he just goes. He goes up to the teacher and goes like, "Hey, you're attractive. I could hit on you." And she's like, "I'm married, and I'm a dude." But
What?
Okay.
So basically, there's
They
this
have a trap
character.
teacher.
No. He's not. She's not even a trap. It's just a dude who disguises himself
A
as
character
a girl.
you've already met, and he's spying on someone, so he disguises himself as a girl assistant teacher.
Yeah, and since magic and supernatural stuff, he's able to project the image of a woman. And the problem is, there's a character named Shima who always falls in love with girls, but these girls happen to be dudes disguised as women every time.
It's never like a trap or anything. It's actually somebody who, for some reason, is a dude in some other form and is using a different form,
which is a female,
as a female for various reasons. And he just always, one, falls for them, and two, gets
So he just has a thing for sexy kids.
He's like teetering on
like rapey,
on rapily aggressive.
And the problem is people continuously push him. They push him to do this.
Yeah,
we're like
people they give him a speech like, no, don't give up on your feelings, and he takes that the wrongest way possible.
And then it always cuts to like the dude dressed up as a girl, like with the most horrified look on their face.
They have like a blanket draped over their shoulders and like huddling in the fetal position, and the cops are like handcuffed him and taking him away.
Like, it's an ongoing joke. That's my favorite joke in the entire series, because they appear at random times where you just like flip through and then it just goes, oh, Shima's being arrested again. Like, there's a part where they go to a pool and then like one of the girls who's a pervert like does a whole like bit where like she's like, okay, this is how you swim, and shows them how to swim, but in her way of swimming is literally going underwater, looking for the hottest chick underwater and then groping her. No,
it's not that. It's go underwater, find somebody with a really attractive butt, and try to get to the butt.
Yeah.
It's like how to swim 101.
Shima goes, okay, I'm going to try that. And he's the only one who tries it. And then it just, like, it dry cuts to him being taken away by the police. And it's the best ongoing joke.
It's pretty hilarious.
That's the thing I love about Jitsuwa, where their ongoing jokes keep on going and for some reason is still funny.
Yeah.
Like, apparently there's gonna be another person that comes up, and it's gonna be a lot worse.
Oh god!
And I can't wait.
It's like, what's his name? Satoshi being a girl or guy or whatever.
Oh.
Is it what's his name?
Satoshi is a pretty generic name, but
from Joe Hideyoshi.
Hideyoshi. Yeah.
See, I was mixing Higurashi and Satoshi, so Hideyoshi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it's a similar.
Yeah, it's a similar joke, but like
as an ongoing joke.
And I again, I keep saying Jitsuwa's solid and keeps being solid week by
Yeah.
week. Like, making me laugh, making me care about the
I
characters.
wish I had the attention span to actually read more mangas.
Dude, if you want to read something, read Jitsuwa. Like,
So I'm quite busy with school.
You would
Yeah.
really enjoy Jitsuwa. It's
I find
one of-
manga is a lot easier to
Just go through.
go through than an anime
I told
is.
you. I told you.
Yeah. Also, I got a new chapter of Horimiya this week, and I am so
I'm
excited
sitting on that. And I'm
because
like,
that is a great romance manga. And it's
Oh,
a
yeah,
monthly,
dude.
and it's a similar setup to One Punch, where it's being translated from a webcomic.
yeah, you're
The
telling us that.
webcomic's already finished, but there was a new chapter this week, and this is the first time since I've reading it I've gotten a new chapter because it's a monthly, and it was a really long chapter. Like, this chapter just didn't end.
Dude, I
But-
can't. Kawaii Complex. Any day now, if Crunchyroll decides to like translate that.
Hopefully soon. You gotta let me know if that happens, because monthlies I don't
Dude,
keep up on unless they're on
That
Potato.
beach trip was too good. Like, I'm.
Oh, the beach trip was fun.
It's ancient. Like, I'm waiting. I'm like, oh man, any minute now, you're gonna go just like, cause I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it. Where I'm just like, just get together now.
Just do it.
get together. Like, you're just there. You're doing
They're
the
gonna
embarrass.
stretch that out for at least...
Another like.
Okay,
year.
how many chapters are we in?
70.
70?
No, 65.
Ooh.
We're at 65.
Because most of what I read, romance-wise,
They get the romance like.
it ends 40 or 60 chapters. 40-something or 60-something is the end point.
Oh man.
so
Any minute.
this is...
See, here's the thing.
This feels like it's a long-running one, so I doubt they're going to get together to, like, 80,
Well, I
90.
remember what's it called? The one that Demo was freaking out about.
Kimi and
Yeah, that was
Go.
not until like 70, 80.
Okay, there's a specific guy who writes that.
Mhm.
I don't remember his name, but apparently he does that in every single thing he writes.
He
He just has a shit ton of chapters until they finally get together.
Just that's what it feels like. with this.
Jun Maeda? No,
No.
Jun Maeda is
Is
Charlotte and Angel
like,
Beats and
it's a
shit. I can't remember who it is. I'm not up on this, but
Yeah, but that like
yeah.
I'm seriously sitting there like, and like, because I would be like, I want them together, but I'd be really disappointed if they just ended it there.
Yeah.
Because I'd want to see after that.
Yeah.
Because they still have to deal with like the rest of the
Yeah,
cast.
it's what's its demographic?
Sign
It's a sign-in?
yeah.
I don't know what it's gonna do then.
Because shoujo would just end when they're together. right?
Not always.
Okay.
A lot of shoujus continue past.
Okay.
Though some
Well,
do just end.
Jitsuwa is a shonen that's continuing.
Sign
with
is they banged. Now here are the repercussions of that banging.
But she's so innocent
Sometimes.
and cute.
This one's not gonna bang.
In Berserk,
But-
the repercussions were quite devastating.
We're more banging. Though it wasn't
No,
consensual.
Griffith, you just have to wait a month. Dude, Griffith, you're going to be a royalty. Griffith, no.
Griffith saw.
not.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go.
Oh, no, I was gonna move on.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna talk
something's-
about fall.
Oh, before you do that then,
Can we talk about the new One Punch?
No.
I haven't read it.
No, the anime.
Oh, the anime?
Oh.
Oh, we can talk about
The
that during
manime.
fall.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
But really quick, I'm really nervous in Shokugeki right now.
I'm sitting on that.
Also sitting on that one.
It goes Shokugeki, and then I'm thinking of moving Prison School just down the list with Horimiya next because I tried. I was sitting here once and I was like, okay, I'll try Prison School.
Prisons.
Oh, opened it up, got to the end of like the first or second chapter, and immediately closed it. I was like, I don't want to deal with the second degree embarrassment right now.
Oh,
I'm
dude.
just gonna close this.
Prison School is pretty rough for a little while. Just in terms of, yeah.
Because I want to read it, but I could feel myself just like cringing at the embarrassment.
It goes up and down with its
Ugh.
cringeworthiness. Sometimes it has it, sometimes it doesn't.
Because I don't like in anime, I could just like I know like okay, I'll just wait until the scene's over, so I'll just like skip until the end of the scene.
Yeah,
With manga, I can't do that.
yeah.
I don't know when that ends.
You just gotta scroll through. Yeah, but I'm really nervous with Shokugeki because they're about to finish a Shokugeki as the show goes. But basically, like someone's about to present his food this chapter or this next coming chapter, and I'm gonna be a little bit disappointed if this ends in like, oh,
You won.
yet again, because so far it's done a good job of sometimes he really does win, and sometimes like he doesn't actually win, and he just straight up doesn't win,
Uh-huh.
or he doesn't win, but they find a way around the like super heavy rules that have been set on the Shokugeki. And this one, there's going to be a generic way that he can win. Basically, just like really quick right now, the chefs or the people who are judging the Shokugeki have been bribed by the other guy, so that he's guaranteed to win anyway. It's just Soma still challenges them to a Shokugeki because like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's a shonen cooking manga. It's like guaranteed, but
with my shonen tropes, I could see how this goes.
Basically, I'm really worried because recently they had a big focus on smell. Like they had a character specifically who's like really good at using spices.
Yeah.
And his whole thing is he's like the master of smell. And they recently concluded an arc where he and Soma were like going head to head along with this other really cool dude. It's a great arc, but I'm really worried that they're gonna use either smell or just these guys are gonna be like overwhelmed by how good Soma's stuff is that they're gonna make him win. And I feel like I can't think of another way out of this situation is the problem. Like I want them to get out of this situation, but I don't want them to get out of it the way that's obvious how they might get out of it. So I'm just so conflicted. And
it's like that moment in Nagi-Asu Asukura where I was like, when Monica woke up, I was like, I know where this is going. I don't know.
No. Yeah. Yeah, it's rough right now. I'll update you next week on whether this goes
okay.
how I want it. I have no
so
idea.
We're gonna do
updates.
a quick couple week fall roundup.
Yeah.
I did not watch a lot of the fall stuff because work and stuff like that. So
haven't watched.
I've been really debating on dropping. I've just discovered my like bottom 5, like official bottom 5, which is Lance and Mask, Anti-Magic, Comet Lucifer, Sakurako, and Young Blackjack. Where like every time I look at this list, I'm like,
don't want to watch those.
I don't want to watch. And the problem is, I always watch the good stuff first.
Yeah.
And then I look at it, and all that's left is just schlock.
And you're like,
Apparently, Heavy Objects. I just haven't watched it because I've just not been in the mood to watch that. Apparently, it's getting decently okay.
Yeah. Usually that's how Hamachi stuff works.
I didn't watch anything yesterday because I was doing a lot of Indivisible stuff, and I didn't watch anything today because of Indivisible stuff.
Yeah.
One Punch, Concrete Revolution, Gundam. What can I say? Let me think about anything I can say about anything I did watch. So I didn't watch Comet Lucifer. I did not touch that. I was like, I don't want to deal with this right now. Concrete Revolution, doing an excellent job, constantly balancing that line between past and future now. Where like, there was an episode I watched where they start off with showing you the future scene, and then they end off with that future scene. And then they do the whole story, and it leads up to that moment.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious, like, the problem that I'm not having a problem with this, but the issue I'm having is that I think I already see, like, I already got point A to B. Like, how did he get to this point?
Yeah.
But the thing is, they continuously keep showing off that past point.
Yeah.
But then, like, I'm just saying, like, this future thing that's going on is so much more interesting. Because, like, I'm going to be vague again. There is a part where they introduce 2 heroes, and in the past they're kind of like at odds against each other, and then it's the whole like the thing about the show is every episode is kind of dealing with a different issue that has to deal with like heroes and stuff like that. Yeah. And the episode they're in was what's the definition of right and wrong.
Yeah.
And the thing is where one person was saying there's a clear-cut definition right and wrong. And the other person goes, hey, there's this moral gray area.
Yeah.
And it's saying, like, who's right or wrong in this scenario? Who's right or wrong? In the gray area or there's stuff like that. And then it ends really cool where, like, character just goes, like, okay, let's do this. And then other characters, like, yeah. We're, like, these 2 characters who were at odds in the past are now on same sides in the future. Then the next episode, like, picks up where that is. And these characters are fighting some of the characters from the past. And, like, this is the first actual clash.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, like, I want to just know what's going on now. Like, and now I'm at this point where I want, like, I like all this backstory and past stuff, but this future stuff is just way more interesting. Where, like, there are things going on And they keep doing parts where Connor saw one of the episodes where two characters are about to fight, and then it ends the episode there, and we don't know what happened at the end of that
They
fight.
just don't tell you.
They just don't tell you. So, Conquer Revolution still being solid, but that's a show. When it's over, I'm gonna have to rewatch from start to finish because it's weird watching it week to week.
Yeah.
Where like I have to comprise a lot of the events that are going on from both past and future.
Yeah.
In like one time period, like in constantly have that in my head.
Just do a watch where you watch just the past stuff.
And watch
just
all
the present stuff.
Well, the thing is, the future stuff is only like 2-3 minutes out of a 24 episode, and that's what's disappointing me. Where I'm like,
I want more future.
I want half.
Okay.
But the problem is, it's like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't watched new Asterisk, but like the one I did watch, like there's 2 episodes that came out.
Just FYI, we skipped a week, so there's a whole week of stuff we haven't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's 2 episodes. I haven't watched this week's. I watched last week's. It was really adorable with two of the side characters joining up on the team and like actually making sense why they're actually like on a team and they're really friendly. And they had a bikini that was like, that's like a 14-year-old girl.
There's a.
Why is that bikini there? It's like Kuroko's bikini.
Oh, dude.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, of course I do.
It's Kuroko's bikini, but the girl is a lot more well endowed.
There's a.
See, that's the reason why it's great for her. Is it's just everyone's like, why? Even the characters are like, why are you wearing that? Please don't.
Go Connor.
Oh, there's a YouTuber who's doing like an entire series on why Asterisk is garbage.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, is it Digi, bro?
Yeah.
I want to watch that.
I was trying not to name drop, but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, I'm just excited because I knew.
I
was like, hey, I understand.
Is he comparing it to Calvary? Because like.
Well, he talked about it, but
the thing is, like, a lot of people are like,
no, it was more like why he doesn't like the group that made it.
Oh.
Yeah. But he's going through the show to like explain why he doesn't like the
A1
group.
Productions.
Yeah.
He doesn't like A1.
A1's done.
Perfect Insider. They're doing Perfect Insider.
Yeah, I'm pretty
No, it was
sure.
the one who did Working. Whatever group did Working.
That's A1.
It's A1.
Yeah.
They're doing Perfect Insider. They
He
did
goes,
Working.
I don't like A1.
Pretty sure they did Your Lie in April, too. That might have been PA Works, but I'm pretty sure it was
But yeah, you
A1.
watch that.
No, Nagi-No-Asu is PA Works.
PA
right?
Works. I know that because they have the middle card that's exactly like Charlotte, and I like when I figured that out, I started having like flashbacks.
Yeah.
K Return of Kings, solid stuff every week. I don't like it's at this point where they're literally like, I'm Chaos, your order. I'm like, this is SMT. I'm really down with this.
Yeah.
I'm really down with this. It has the coolest concept. Okay, so all the kings, they bestow power onto their clansmen.
Yeah.
Like, the people they choose to be their clansmen, they bestow power onto them, and they have power.
Yeah.
And then there's the Green King, who breaks all those rules, where he's somehow allowed to bestow power temporarily on people.
Huh.
So what he does is he has an app called Jungle. So they're actually dealing with social media with this episode.
Interesting.
Where everyone starts at E, and then you work up until you hit J. And you just do menial tasks.
Wait, what's the in-between here?
Jungle. You start at E, and then you get to J.
Okay. I was like, what the fuck is this rating system?
But anyway, they start at E, and then they work their way up by doing menial tasks, and they start doing bigger missions to gain points to get to J rank. And these menial tasks are actually like terrorism, but they don't realize it because they're just playing a game.
Yeah.
Where like you know, somebody goes, hey, give this bear this package, and you give the bear the package, and the package explodes. Or like, hey, take a picture of this guy, and it's surveillance.
Okay, people would get like really onto that really quick.
But the only the people who are the kings and the clansmen have figured it out. But the Green King has worked his way into the government system to allow like it to keep going on. Because the problem is the Blue King has his finger around the Prime Minister, but the Prime Minister doesn't like that. So he's like, okay, this Green King seems pretty cool.
With his terrorism.
Yeah, well, basically it's terrorism directed towards the other kings and clansmen.
It's like gang war terrorism.
Yeah, it's gang war terrorism. But he's using the public to do it. And it's something that I really like, because Gatchaman Crowds did the same thing with their
no
first
one
season.
in the public's ever gotten shot for that.
Of course not.
No, because the Klansmen don't like hurt the general public. Because there's only three clans that are like being targeted: blue, red, and silver. And like they're not
the good guys.
they're not the good guys, but like blue's the police force. Like blue's like not the police force, but they're like they're the secret police. Red are actually gang members, and then silver is two people. Silver's three people. Like the king and two
explain
people.
why they wouldn't just shoot people who are trying to bomb their place, even if they're pedestrians.
Well, they're not like. A lot of it is chaos and like because the Green King's whole point is chaos, and then the Blue King is all about control. And as long as it's inciting chaos, it's fine. And again, the Green King has kind of some control over the political schemes going on, allowing himself to keep going with this. But as you get more throughout the levels, you get more powers and stuff like that, and it's super cool. And then when you get J, you get permanent powers. Like everything is temporarily.
Until you hit J.
So if you mess up a mission, you lose points, and then you go down levels and stuff like that.
Okay.
So you're constantly trying to win points.
Yeah.
But like, so once you get to J rank, you get permanent powers.
Yeah.
And there's a character who like has the power of like so many powers right now, and I'm just like, oh, what's going on with this show? It's so good. So
Grabbing
good.
them all like powers.
I'm going full Charlotte.
I watched Kagewani, and that one's actually pretty funny.
Dude, it better.
Dude, they went to Tremors.
Oh!
One of the episodes literally is Tremors.
I have to see this.
Like, it's a whole episode where they're like, there's a penis monster coming out of the ground.
Yes, please. I'm gonna watch this soon.
Komori, they've introduced a love interest technically, but like Komori is like, looks like she's 15, and the love interest looks like he's 12.
You know.
But like, technically they're both the same age, so it's okay.
Still better than Lats Mask.
Literally the next thing on this list.
What is Komori?
Komori's the 2-minute short.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
For some reason, 2 minutes. Who does a short that's 2
2
minutes? Nobody
Dude,
knows.
the credits is like 20 of those seconds. Kagewani's credits are like a second.
Yeah.
Gundam, you guys gotta see last week's Gundam, and then this week's Gundam I still need to see.
Well, you
'Cause-
skipped Lats Mask now?
I didn't watch it, dude.
Oh, okay.
Gundam was solid, and they did a thing that I was like, yeah, you do that thing. I like that. I like that thing you're doing.
That's what she said.
Noragami, I can't say much, but anyone who's seen Noragami is literally having panic attacks right now. Like,
It sounds promising.
like the way they did the latest episode was really good directing on the part where they did a thing and the music that was playing cuts off and just goes silent, and then they just cut the credits and you're just having a panic attack and you're like hyperventilating. You're like, what are you doing, Noragami?
What?
Stop Noragami.
Okay. Catch up
um
soon.
I'll save one punch for the end. We watched the new Showman Sample. I watched this week's. You watched last week's Showman Sample. Go.
Nothing happened, I swear.
Is
What's
this
it?
the one with the stand?
Oh, Sun Pure.
Oh yeah, basically she has friends now.
And then she loses all of her friends.
She doesn't lose all
No,
her
yeah, that was the whole point of that episode. She gains friends and then loses them all. Or if you mean the main cast, yeah, then they're friends with her. But like, she no longer has friends.
Wait,
Because of the CPR thing, all the girls are now distant against her now.
no, they're not distant against her. They're just like, oh, I can't handle this, and they leave.
Oh, yeah.
No, she starts shit is what happens. She goes, oh, there's this misunderstanding. Actually, I want this to keep happening.
But
She didn't lose her
yeah.
friends from that.
And then there was a
There
really
was
cool...
something at the end. All I can say is watch past the credits this episode.
Yeah, it's a really
Seriously,
nice, it's a
watch
really
past
nice
the
twist that I can't believe I got spoiled on.
Oh, I got spoiled on it too.
Yeah. This week's episode had me laughing really hard. And I'll just tell you the basic concept of it. The girls, they discover that Kimito has a fortune teller thing that like you know, the fortune teller apps on his phone.
Yeah.
And then that sparks shit.
Wait, what was that?
They basically do fortune telling, like horoscopes, and they're
Oh,
like,
in the new episode of this?
in the new episode.
Oh,
And then
God.
the fortune teller has a button that says relationship with the character. And they do it. And then it leads to, like, shenanigans.
Naturally.
And I really like the shenanigans they lead to. And then,
That show's always good for a laugh.
here's the thing,
Yeah.
Connor. You know how you like the whole setup thing to the outcome of the joke. This one has one of the best like punchlines where when you get to it, you're just like
everything wraps up so nicely.
It's a misunderstanding that you normally hate, and they turn it into a really funny joke. I haven't seen Cavalry, the newest episode. I didn't get to that.
We can ask, what the fuck is Torimono doing?
Oh, is there a new episode
that was the one yesterday? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not.
Hey guys, we're suddenly on a boat, fighting bug people,
and then get off the boat, and everything's fine.
Yeah.
And then all the bromance moments.
All the romance moments.
Also, now I have that little jellyfish thing.
She always had it. They just forgot to add it in. Like, that's the thing where everyone's
They
like...
put it in the opening.
Yeah, they forgot to add it in to her character. I didn't touch Sakurako. I did not touch Anthem. Magic School Academy. I did not touch Young Blackjack. I did touch Perfect Insider, and I just have to say I can't wait for when we have free time, which will probably be never, to, like... I'll just ask you guys to watch that eventually, because those 2 episodes that I watched, I was like...
God.
Is November 30th too early to shave for No Shave November? Because I'm really tempted to shave.
No, we have 2 days left. Let's just say in Perfect Insider, on last week's episode, there was about a whole 10 minutes of English. And it was fantastic. Like, because somebody pointed out why, like, English sounds so weird, is because when we're talking, we have a lot of emotion and tone behind what we're saying. For them, it's flat and no emotions.
Because you have to say the word correctly.
Yeah. But, since we can't talk about Perfect Insider, our last topic for discussion is One Punch Man.
They were good.
Yay!
I was scared.
Oh, Connor was scared because they might not have done the speech.
They totally they almost skipped the entire payoff for the Sea King arc, is what it seemed like.
I think last episode was my favorite One Punch episode so far.
Last week's?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Last week's was super hype.
Standing up cycling style.
Standing
Injustice!
Ah, dude, licenseless rider just being a badass.
My favorite part of One Punch Man is when they get to Guro. I'm gonna keep saying that because, like...
My favorite part is still when King takes up, or, like, King stands up to 4 dragon ranks.
Dragon monsters.
I mean, King's that OP, it's crazy.
Yeah. Dude, King... Okay, Dawson, if you think you like King now...
Just wait.
Like I said last time, the perfect use of power of courage ever in anything.
Just be careful where you step. The ground's really shaky here.
Is that how we're gonna end it off? Just us laughing about quotes about one?
One is so great. I will keep inside joking until Dawson gets tired of it.
And then finally joins in on the inside joking. Because there's so many inside jokes within one of just everything that happens. Because there's so many moments where, yes, I want Murata when he does it to actually... Because there's moments where they do like a whole fight scene, but they just skip to the... Like, they start the fight scene.
They already ruined the Dine and Dash.
Like, they skip the fight from the beginning and get to the end.
Yeah.
And so they... Like, I want to see some of them, like, where they actually do the complete fight. But there's so many moments where it's literally just like...
There's an insane amount of fights in this
episode. There's a moment where, like, character walks into room, enemy goes, I'm gonna kill you. Dry cuts to character just immediately killing that dude.
Damn.
No,
like,
it's better than that. It's not kill.
Like
the word is... Replace the word kill with something else.
And the thing is, there's so many dry cuts to just, like... ending of things, and then there's moments where you're just laughing, where they're just like, hey, should we help him? Yeah, no, we don't have to help him. It's fine. 5 seconds later, I think we overestimated him.
That was only one part. I'm not gonna spoil which part it is.
No, but like I said, I'm mentioning that joke where like there's jokes like that where they're just like, where it's.
I'm not mentioning the joke where he goes, oh, I have to attack him again.
The Guro arc is single-handedly the most hypest, funniest, and like one of the most well-drawn parts of one.
And it actually like covers a lot of characters and their personalities and stuff.
Yeah, like remember, you didn't watch my video on it, but the top 10, the not the top 10, the openings video I made.
Yeah.
Where I basically was talking about it and how much I disliked how the S-rank heroes were shoehorned in at the end is like me coming off of 1 and just going like, why? Like, because almost every one of them is given like personality, backstory, character within the Guro arc.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. Like, what? Oh.
Natural water always reads into people's emotions. It should have read his killing intent by now and murdered him. Why is it shaking in fear?
Okay.
I'm
I
so
think,
done.
I think
One
this
is such a great
I
anime.
think this is where we should end it off. Tune in next week. I don't know when we'll put out that other video. I think we should just do Death Parade because it's finals week.
Might as well.
We'll just like talk about Death Parade or something. We'll figure it out. But besides that,
Yeah, or I'll make you guys watch shorts because you can watch them.
oh yeah, we could do that really fast. We could do a short real quick. Talk about some shorts.
Yeah, you guys should watch. I don't know what my husband's saying.
Oh yeah, that's like a full
Yeah,
episode.
I trying to force everyone to watch stuff.
It is.
It is, but the thing is, it's finals week.
We're gonna watch My Right Hand Can't Possibly Be This Cute.
We'll do that over. We'll do that over winter break.
Okay.
Yeah, we got 3 weeks. So.
Yeah. So
You're gonna
besides
experience a trio of steadily increasing mic quality. Come a few weeks here.
that, oh, that's gonna be so great.
Looking at you, Connor.
My headset's broken, so my mic's gonna be even worse.
Oh man, those Audacity files are gonna be awesome. Like, do we have a third mic that we could just lend?
I now know what I need for Christmas.
Mic, please.
Wait, is your mic broken?
No, my headset's like one of the ears just hanging off.
Anyway, last minute thoughts. Monica is the worst character ever. Nuna is the best character ever. How can you do this? Asukura. Any other final thoughts?
I'm sorry, Dawson. This was kind of mean.
No, it's fine.
I know you're expecting this, but
I knew full well what was going to happen when I suggested
there's
this.
gonna be such a negative vibe towards this like show when you're in this video. You know what I mean?
I like
Because
the
there's
show.
so much nitpicking, and like even though generally like there's like we say generally this show is enjoyable, but like we just really wanted to get our nitpicks in, so it just sounded like we were shit talking the show as a whole.
But anyway, Dawson, any last minute thoughts?
I'll think of some more things to make you guys salty.
Oh, I can't wait,
Besides
dude.
the salt and
Wait
sea.
a few weeks, and we will either be incredibly relieved or like slobbering blubs
Dude,
of really, really
that
sad
Evangelion,
people.
that Evangelion podcast, when we decide to do
We
Evangelion,
finally do that.
is good, which is going to be winter quarter, is going to be so great.
That's gonna be really interesting. Also, you should really title this video "The Salt in the Sea"
I will.
with salt in the
I will.
Oh,
because the English translation
something
is
I really wanted.
"All in the Sea."
Did I ask this before? Okay, so the adding the salt that's like falling from the sky, right? It adds to the salinity of the water, right? Makes it colder and everything.
Yeah.
So where's the salt coming from? If it's not coming from the ocean,
Wait,
Where's the salt from the...
because it's making the ocean saltier as it's falling into it.
the snow?
Yeah,
Okay, I thought what fell on the surface was actually snow.
No,
it's salt
it was
snow.
salt.
You sure?
Yes.
Because they go look at the salt snow.
No, what they said is, oh my god, this is so surprising. Why is there salt falling on the surface?
They call it salt flake snow, but I figured they were just using the term they use for it underwater for a new phenomenon they did not understand on land. People do that.
I swear to God, it's salt. And that brought up one of the funniest moments when Monica was grabbing a pile of snow,
Yeah.
or salt flake snow, and throwing it into the air. I'm like, I really hope salt gets in her eyes.
Oh man,
And
we're
you're
salting
throwing
my-
salt
Swear
into
to
the
God,
air.
what is on the surface is actual snow,
Okay.
not salt.
If that is the truth, that totally makes sense.
Because it
Okay.
seems like nobody on the surface has, at least in this area, has
Has seen
experienced snow before. So the only people who've experienced are people underwater
Water.
who've only experienced salt flake snow.
Thank you for
So
clearing
they
up the
come to the
physics.
surface and they see a phenomenon that's similar to something else they know.
Okay, so
Naturally,
it's like
they're going to call
it's
it
like
the
an
same
unreliable narrator kind
thing.
of thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, that would make sense.
But besides that,
Like,
thank
but
you
seriously
for
though, if
listening.
you throw salt into the air,
Goodbye
you deserve
and
it
good
in your
night.
eyes.